What is up, my friends? We are live for the final Champions League phase game for the Reds, taking on Qarabag. It is an 8 p.m. kickoff. As always, I'll run you through the team news momentarily, but I hope you're all well and in good spirits. There is no Curtis Jones in the team today, in the squad today. He's ill, apparently, so no Curtis Jones, but he was one booking away from a suspension anyway, so maybe that's a good thing. We do have the team news, as I said, and the bench isn't looking overly strong today. I think we've gotten away too much with the two goalkeeper things this season. I don't think we've talked about that enough, the fact that so many times we've had to pack out a bench of goalkeepers, even though Aaron is talking about having to disappoint people. Must have about 9 goalkeepers he's disappointing them, because I don't know about the rest of the squad. But we are being brought to you today as well with thanks to our friends at the Collector's Corner. You've seen, if you came in at the start of the watch along, we are giving away that signed Steven Gerrard shirt. If you want to go directly there, then make sure that you scan the QR code that you've seen on the holding screen. If you'd like to go and check out the wares of our friends at the Collector's Corner, use the QR code in the bottom corner of the screen. But like I said, if you want to be in to win it, you got to be in the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp, and I will bring up that full screen image for you again in a bit. Let's have a quick look at the Reds starting 11 for today, ladies and gentlemen. Alisson Becker in goal, right back Jeremy Frimpong, left back Andy Robertson, your captain Virgil van Dijk alongside that well-known Dutch centre-back Ryan Gravenberch. In midfield, Alexis McAllister, Dominic Szoboszlai, Florian Wirtz, Cody Gakpo, Mohamed Salah and Hugo Ekitike up top. So that is the way the Reds line up today. On the bench, Mamardashvili, Woodman, Endo, Kirkes, Chiesa, Nioni, Nalo is back because we haven't seen him get a red in a while. Morrison and Engamoa. So that is the Reds bench today. Look, let's be honest, this should be a fairly straightforward evening. There's something like 22-1 to win this game. So, yeah, we should be all right. So, why do we need 2 goalkeepers? We don't, Derek. We don't. This is the funny thing. We've just packed out benches with extra goalkeepers this season, and you had to listen to the manager and his tomfoolery. Everybody say bye-bye to Connor.
Bye-bye, Connor.
Thanks, Connor. Connor was just up there running through. We were literally, and I'm not joking here, we were quite literally watching paint dry earlier on to see which tone of red suits better. So, yeah, that was our evening, watching paint dry, and I'm still not sure which one's going to be more exciting, the deciding which colour red we were going to use, or the Reds tonight. Jones isn't on the bench. No, Jones isn't in the squad today. He has an illness, so no Curtis Jones, which was a bit of late-breaking news, to be fair. So, folks, I'll do my best to keep you through it. Worst season I've watched for a long time. Oh, it's not been a great season, mate. No, it's not. Not been one filled full of highlights for us so far. But fingers crossed, we can enjoy a fairly stress-free evening tonight with the Reds, hopefully getting the job done against Qarabag. Mate, I've got a colour code if you need it for red. No, all good, thanks, mate. All good. We had a few different sample pots. We'd already got our Anfield Agenda red and brought it to a couple of paint companies. So we were just testing out a few bits on the wall in the studio to see what would be, well, the nicest red. Biffa, how are you, bro? Said, what's your prediction tonight? I'm going to stick with me 3-1, mate. I'm going to stick with me 3-1. I do think we'll win it, and I think it'll be comfortable. But, yeah, I think we're probably going to concede because, you know, that's us lately. I'm interested to see if Gravenberch actually plays as the centre-back, or if we almost go with a back 3 as he pushes in towards midfield a bit. That'll be interesting to keep an eye on. Formation-wise, as I said, don't take what we have on screen as a banker for the formation. It is just for illustrative purposes. We'll do our best to explain and walk through the formation when we see the Reds out there. 2-2. So let's go, mate. If we draw this game 2-2, we're done. Because a draw doesn't even guarantee us the top 8. To guarantee that, we have to win. A draw might do it, depending on other results. But what we cannot do is lose this game today. And if we lose this game today, with all due respect, there shouldn't even be a conversation around the manager's future. But I don't think it'll come to that today. I really don't. I think this should be a fairly straightforward evening. Robbo's last game. Again, that's a situation that we don't know definitively the answer to that one either. I hope not. You know, we all love Andy Robertson, and like I said, I don't think getting rid of Andy Robertson and bringing back in Costas is strengthening us in any way, so we'll see what happens there. There was a few gifted memberships there from Kai Smith. Thank you, Kai. Gifted 10 Anfield Agenda memberships. Absolutely top notch, mate. Appreciate that. Thank you. What's this one from Mike? Said, just checking the weather app. We know the wind at Anfield can cause the opponents, can be like the opponent's 12th player. I know, you've got to be careful, mate. Windiness, we know Arne doesn't like a bit of windiness. Look, at this point, please don't even ask me to comment on something the manager says. Just take it for account that it's annoyed me and I'm pissed off by him. Because some of that crap he came out with yesterday was beyond comprehension to me. Kai, thank you as well, mate, for being a member with us for 22 months. Absolute legend. And thank you as well. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Right, ladies and gentlemen. So how are we feeling about the 11 anyway? We happy enough for what the manager has gone for today with team selection? Again, don't take what we have on the screen as a bona fide formation. We don't know the actual formation. We're just giving you for illustrative purposes. Reminder, everybody, as well. Don't forget to come along and enter. Join Liverpool's best WhatsApp group. Come and join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp as well. And I want to just bring this one up because it is this 1 second. There we go. There we go. This is the one I actually meant to bring up. So this is the one if you want to enter the competition, ladies and gentlemen. You need to be in the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp. Scan that QR code on the screen right there now. That will bring you to our WhatsApp. The QR code in the bottom corner of the main studio, that will bring you directly to the Collector's Corner store with the Anfield Agenda discount already applied to it. But this one here brings you into our WhatsApp. And we are giving away that signed and framed Steven Gerrard shirt completely free. Just scan that QR code, like we said, to join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp. And the information on how to enter the competition is there. We're going to be doing a giveaway every single month in 2026 with thanks to our friends at the Collector's Corner. And if you use the QR code in the bottom corner of your screen there now, that will give you a 20% discount on any purchase that you'd like to make from the Collector's Corner. Right. When Gakpo starts, we play awful. Look, again, I'm saying this should not be a problem. It's Qarabag. With all due respect to them, you know, the first Azerbaijani side to do a lot of things and they deserve their immense credit. But it's Liverpool Football Club. This should be fairly straightforward evening for us. So, you know, let's hope for the best. How many times can we enter the giveaway? I guess technically it depends how many email addresses you want to give up. Because part of the process is you give us your name and you give an email address so we can obviously put you into the entry. So I guess up to you, mate. You know, we're not going to be overly policing it. If you want to waste your time putting in 10 email addresses, then I guess you're entered 10 times. But there's still only be one winner. So we'll leave that up to you. And look, we'll keep an eye on how it's going as well, because we do want it to be a fair process for everyone. So there is a little bit of leeway given for us there as well. I can't wait, though, to do this once a month, every month, and it really is highly appreciated that our friends at the Collector's Corner have stepped up to help us out like that. These were the gentlemen that gave us the signed and framed Diogo Jota shirt that we gave away previously as well. This month, Stevie G. Next month, well, we're working on something that I can't tell you about yet because it hasn't been secured, but again, it's going to be something you love. Liz, happy match day. Be kind to each other. And especially my friend Craig. Thank you, Liz. An absolute superstar, as always, my friend. Love to yourself, to Ian and the family over in Florida. I'm drinking coffee before the match so I don't fall asleep, said No Lie Eli. I've only had 2 cups of coffee today. I'm 1 cup of coffee short, so who knows how I'm going to get on for the day. Is 2 cups of coffee going to be enough? We'll find out. I feel like it's the best 11 he could have put out. I would have made a couple of little changes like I did in my preview. But look, it's the basis of an 11 that should get the job done. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say I've got too many complaints about the Reds starting 11 tonight. Just don't ask me to be reading you out the Qarabag team and bench. Just that's my favour to ask you tonight, because the last thing I want to do is insult any Azerbaijani viewers or anything by massively mispronouncing names. And we all know my record of pronunciation of names on here isn't great. So, am I wrong for wanting us to lose? Yes, I would say yes, Eddie, respectfully. But like I said, I understand the thought process of where you're coming from. But just for me, mate, as a guy, I can never, ever urge Liverpool to lose a game of football. Because there's a lot at stake tonight as well. We want to make sure that we don't have the knockout round, the playoff, so we can go straight into the last 16 if we finish in the top 8. And a win tonight guarantees that. A win tonight guarantees us top 4, but ultimately top 8 is what we're looking for. A draw might get us in, depending on the results elsewhere. A loss, and we're in trouble, and we're probably in the playoff. But look, like I said, there's no way we should be stressing about not winning this game of football tonight. So, what are we thinking score-wise? I've got a prediction we'll see another Florian Wirtz goal this evening myself. So, that's my goal scorer prediction. Will we see Mohamed Salah return to form, put the ball into the back of the net? We know we love the Champions League night. Liz said, read the opposing team. Can I pull me socks up? Can I show you me socks instead, Liz? Will that do? It's probably less pain inflicted on me trying to show you me socks than there is of me trying to read out the team for you. Any news on players that could be in the summer? Yeah, Jeremy Jacquet is one definitely worth keeping an eye on. That situation is evolving. Deo Upamecano, by the way, is another name that's just been brought up. Liverpool are reportedly interested in Deo Upamecano, who's taken his time to re-sign at Bayern Munich, says Florian Plettenberg. I'm going to say it very clearly. I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. I said it when we got Canade from Leipzig. I think we got the better centre-back from that deal. And I don't want to downgrade, which, in my opinion, bringing up a Meccano in would be. That's just my 2 cents on it, and I've been pretty consistent on that. So for me, I'd rather we pass on Upamecano. But again, I still don't know why we didn't sign Mark Gay, so what do I know? Chiesa should play for Qarabag and get some minutes. Well, on Chiesa, we don't even know what his future entails, to be honest. He is on the bench today for the Reds, so at least the option's there for the manager should he want to use it. A reminder again that the Reds bench is Georgie Mamardashvili, Freddie Woodman, Wataru Endo, Milos Kerkez, Federico Chiesa, Trey Morris-Nioni, Nalo Morrison and Gamoa. That is the Reds bench. Sonder says, Jacquet, stand here if you don't know, Craig. Jacquet, stand here if you don't know. Huh? I don't know what you mean. Is there a joke in there that I'm missing, mate? Sorry. He's more clumsy than Canade. Well, we used to call him Upper Maguire, jokingly, on the channel. But, yeah, I just want to make sure I've got the right channel on for the Liverpool game here, by the way. Bear with me. Yeah, it shows that this is the right channel. So hopefully they do move into the Liverpool game. Reminder, every one of the Champions League games is on at the same time tonight because it's the final league format stage. So everybody is playing. So it's going to be a busy night. Craig, any word on Xavi Alonso? I don't have really anything that I can add, no. Now, I've got to say to you, today on its own, I haven't really been up to much with regards to research and work because we've been doing a lot of stuff in the studio today. Connor was up and we were going through some angles and we were looking at some camera shots and a few other bits and pieces, so didn't really get a chance to delve into the media side of it much today. But the good news is we've picked out a shade of red, so that's some good news. Rio or Chiesa could start games like this, said Nessie. Yeah, tonight would feel like a perfectly good game, wouldn't it? To play Rio, Ngamo and Nessie. I'm with you on that one, mate. I felt like, yeah, this would have been definitely an opportunity to give Rio a chance. Hopefully we see him get some minutes anyway. Because what I'm hoping happens here tonight is we do go a few goals up and the manager can look to the game against Newcastle because that is a huge game. Now, Newcastle themselves have a very difficult Champions League game tonight, but we have them at Anfield on Saturday, 8 p.m. kickoff. So we're going to have to make sure that we're recovered as much as we can be and ready for that one as well. Curtis is ill, Dylan. Ill, unfortunately, mate. We just got that news late that Curtis Jones has missed the game with an illness. So Curtis Jones will miss Liverpool's next game in Europe should he get a yellow card, but then we found out that he was ill, so isn't in it. Now, look, can I be honest? I'm a tad bit dubious. And I hope that Curtis Jones is ill, because I'm a little bit concerned, because we know we still had that rough link. So I really do hope it is an illness and that he's not being kept out just in case, because we know he's been linked with Spurs. And look, I have my tinfoil hat on around all things Liverpool at the minute. I don't really know how to interpret anything with a straight face now. So fingers crossed that it is just an illness. Any bets on? No, I don't have anything on tonight, mate. Not that I'm aware of. I might have stuck. I got a free fiver bet, so I might have stuck on like an accumulator on loads of different games, but nothing that I'm aware of anyway. Sonder, how are we, bro? 1.5 plus goals in 18 matches. Robbo, I'm saving you. There you go. 1.5. 1.5 plus goals in 18 matches. Are you? Is you? I mean, you having some type of quiz game tonight, Sonder, where you're giving me these quiz hints that I'm supposed to know the answers to. Playing a strong team, ready for excuses after Newcastle game. Well, Newcastle and Man City are our next 2 league games, and yeah, they're going to be tough outings. We know that, but look, it's sink or swim time now for Arna. What kind of subs bench is that, Craig? Do you know what I find funny about it? Yesterday, the manager said that he had to... Actually, do you know what? I'm going to give you the fucking quote, so I'm not just making shit up here on the spot. I'm going to give you the quote from the manager yesterday, which was basically talking about having to disappoint people. So where is it? Where is it? Sorry, I don't have that quote. Where is it? In the media boxes. Noise. Beating them in the league. Spoken Canade. I don't have the quote from Slot, actually. Sorry, that's my bad. I don't still have the quote. But he said he had to disappoint players, basically. And then goes and names 2 goalkeepers on the bench again. So I don't know who the players are he's disappointing. I have a feeling that even a win of this game is his last game, said Maddie. There's no... Look, he can win this game 15-0, Maddie. And nothing will change, in my opinion, or in the opinion of anyone else. Because this is a game that he should be winning straightforward. This is a straightforward evening. There's nothing to be gained from tonight. Or nothing that's going to change my view on him or the team tonight, even if they win 15-0. It means nothing. I want to see a performance against Newcastle. I want to see a performance against Man City. Yes, Craig, Mystic Match Day for today. Much love. Shout out, Connor. Confidence on camera has grown. Yes, it's great to see, isn't it? Yeah, I love that you're getting to see the side of Connor that I get to see a lot of the time as well. And he is growing in confidence in front of the camera. So, there was a really few good pieces, or a good piece, written by Laura Hunter on Sky Sports. And it's an article that labels out Liverpool's problems. And I would certainly say, do have a read of it, because I've not come across Laura Hunter's work before on Sky. But reading this piece, I have to say, she knocked it out of the park. Like, it really is an incredible read. And I'll read you out bits and pieces of it in the build-up to the game here. And it said, both Brentford and Fulham have managed as many wins as Liverpool with 10 overall this season in the league. So Liverpool have the same amount of wins in the league this season as Brentford and Fulham. Slot's excuses for such a record, the latest of which was the win at Bournemouth, only serves to further eradicate the credit banked during his last title-winning campaign. The Dutchman is now in the thick of the crossfire, writes Laura. Goes on to say, failure to beat Newcastle at the weekend after hosting Qarabag at Anfield on Wednesday would represent Liverpool's worst start to a calendar year since 1954. The last year in which we were relegated. Let me say that loud again for anybody who's under any disillusionment of how bad this has been. Failure to beat Newcastle on the weekend, so even a draw, failure to beat Newcastle at the weekend would represent Liverpool's worst start to a calendar year since 1954, the last year in which they were relegated. That's what we're facing. That's the levels of how bad this has gotten. She went on to say, what was once the best attacking force in the league has morphed into one of the easiest to nullify. Slot's version of control has Liverpool playing at a pedestrian pace, much easier and simpler to contain and far easier to predict. Dialing down the tempo of attacks has severely hampered big chance creation and shot quality, which has dipped below the league's average. So even on that, we're below the league's average. The league average is 0.1 and we're 0.9. Developing from deep in the build-up, big chance creation and shot quality at 0.9, which is dipped below the league's average, which is 1.0. Developing from deep in the build-up phase only works if there's movement in front, a way to dislodge opposition sides from their shape. And yet Liverpool have far fewer disruptor types in order to make this style work. The likes of Luis Diaz and the late Diogo Jota ran at defences in ways that created gaps for others to exploit. It drew teams out. This version, far more methodical, does not have the same magnetic energy. Liverpool have gone from a team who generated the most accurate switches of play across last season to now one of the least. Mohamed Salah's drop-off is another unfortunate byproduct of the fact that fewer goals all round is the end result. Now, there's more that I'm going to go and talk about from this article in a while. But as I've said, full credit to Laura Hunter on Sky Sports. It's an incredibly good piece, very insightful, and definitely worth a look if you have a little search on the Sky Sports app or website. Joe, Navy Sergeant, how are you, Sarah? And again, thank you for your service, Joe. Said, hi, Craig and wife. How are you both doing? Good, thank you. Just still this head cold lingers on, mate. Still a bit wheezy, but apart from that, all good. We need to sack Slot ASAP, not unless a one-eyed dog properly do a better job as manager. A one-eyed dog would certainly probably have more common sense and certainly a clearer vision of what's actually happening than Arna has at the minute. Craig, would you ever do another FIFA career mode? Look, you never say never in this world, but it's certainly not in the plans. Imagine if we had an Abramovich as owner. Slot would have been out the door since September. Look, most owners would have had him out the door by now. And the fact that he hasn't been fired by now is certainly something that I'm very annoyed by. But as I said, I do have to take some solace from the fact that I know it's only a matter of time that he will be fired. And even at that, like I've said, it's not something that I'm going to be on here to celebrate because nobody wins in this scenario. Nobody wants it to get to this point, but this is where we're at. Want to talk about a lack of counter threat, which is another piece from this very good Laura Hunter article that said, if the pace is slower, it inevitably means the cut through is less effective. Liverpool used to go from back to front in the blink of an eye, and they had a myriad of ways of doing it. Crucially, though, what bound that strategy together was that everything was done with urgency. How can a side who ranks top for chances created with 278 equally placed 9th for shots on target with 99? Now, listen to that again. How can a side who ranks top of the Premier League for chances created with 278 be 9th for shots on target with 99? Liverpool are arriving in the final third just without the intensity or numbers needed to convert a chance into anything meaningful. Dominic Szoboszlai and Florian Wirtz are the only two players in the league to compete over 400 final third passes, and yet the goals for column is 21 lighter than it was at the same stage last season. Creatively, Liverpool are stumped. Fast breaks used to be a pillar of their identity. They scored a league high 14 times via that method last season. This year, that stands at just 3. And again, there's more and more to come from this piece, but it just paints a picture that everything at Liverpool is not where it should be. The pace isn't there. The numbers getting into the penalty area for attacks aren't there. Defensively, we know about those deficiencies from set pieces, and I'll move on to talk about set pieces in a moment. Craig, even Arteta takes responsibility for the loss against United. Meanwhile, look at our manager and what he's been saying, no accountability. Not just accountability. I take it even a step further and say no accountability. Just no realm of reality. Everything he's saying lately is contradicting something else he said. Whether it's love playing against low blocks to becoming I hate low blocks, whether it's 2 league titles in 5 years or 2 league titles in 30 years, depending on what point he wants to make and who he's trying to belittle, whether it's outside noise instead of fans, it's just, yeah, it's not great. He's a clown, but we are where we are. Right, so set pieces. And that's what we want to move on to next in this piece from Laura Hunter. Whereas the press has disappeared, using possession won in the attacking third as a measure, 85, Liverpool's ability or willingness to press is less coordinated than Spurs, Everton and Leeds, among 7 others. So even our pressing is non-existent. Set piece seriousness is the next piece of the article. Liverpool's set piece records at both ends of the pitch is bordering on silly. No team has conceded more times from a throw-in, 5. Overall, only Bournemouth with 17 have conceded more goals from set pieces, excluding penalties, than Liverpool's 14. This team are not equipped for Premier League football, re-emphasised Jamie Carragher when discussing the topic on Monday Night Football. The numbers here are stark and have been all season, leading Liverpool to sack their set piece coach earlier this month. Each of Bournemouth's 3 goals from the weekend, in fact, exposed a specific and systematic weakness. Goal number 1, vulnerable to a simple ball over the top. Goal number 2, exposure down the weaker left-hand side. Goal number 3, susceptible to a basic long throw. And then finally, Laura writes, Anfield anguish. Games at Anfield used to be bankers for Liverpool. The unique history and intimidating atmosphere, the thrill of the football, all played their part simultaneously. Of course, much of that still exists, but it seems to be buried beneath a cloud of uncertainty. Since beating Bournemouth 4-2 on the opening weekend, Liverpool haven't scored more than twice in any of their last 10 home games. So, since we beat Bournemouth on the opening weekend 4-2, Liverpool haven't scored more than twice in any of their last 10 home games. They're averaging just 1.45 goals per game at Anfield this term, the lowest in a campaign since 2011-2012, while points per game has them 10th in the home form table. With 5 games at Anfield between now and the end of February, including meetings with Newcastle and Manchester City, the situation may worsen before it gets better. And she finishes with, but there's still talent and hope. For all the ignominy of the above, Liverpool still have the talent needed to finish inside the top 4 or 5 places. Slot's arrangement of that talent must be more enticing to achieve it. And the tactical nous used to see out games must also improve. When Liverpool have conceded a second half equaliser, they've gone on to lose 4 times this season. The Premier League average is 0.9. And we've lost 4. £450 million worth of talent came through the door last summer, yielding the biggest wage bill of any side in the top flight. Ordinarily, albeit not always, that equates to success. For Slot, it has equated to mediocrity. Time to wise up, or the Dutchman risks losing more than just the next football match. That was a wonderful, wonderful piece from Laura Hunter. And like I said, definitely worth a read if you have time. And she's hit the nail on the head. Spot on. Great reporting. See that? That's proper journalism. You know, the stuff that we don't really get from a lot of the people covering our club. That right there is a journalist doing top tier journalist work. And that is a journalist and a type of journalism that I have the height of respect for. Fair, balanced, critiquing and asking the questions. Not, aren't we all great? Yay, let's all give Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards a big hug. Because that's the type of bullshit that we get. So, Whale Galley, how are you, bro? Players' form is a result of Slot. 5 or 6 players are way off. And don't forget to play. Slot is playing not to lose. And also, we don't look fit enough, mate. We don't even look like we can last the 90 minutes. Now look, for a man who can't last the 9 minutes, I know there's a lot coming from me. But I'm not a professionally paid athlete. Or am I? Could be a darts player. I have the body and physique for it. Right, Sonder. The word low block raises our cortisol levels now. Well, it doesn't raise little Craig. Let's say that much, mate. It doesn't raise that. Nobody's running up the flagpole to salute that one. Brad Larkin, how are you, mate? Member with us for 11 months, Brad. Thank you so much. Nearly the year as well, my man. Let's get the automatics up the Reds. Automatics. Hydromatics. Grease Lightning. Go Grease Lightning, you really got me. Sorry, that's probably a bit, yeah, that's probably a little bit too old school, even for me. You've got Hydromatics. Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Score prediction for tonight, said VI Jokers. I'm going to stick with my 3-1, sir. I'm going to stick with my 3-1. But do let me know. Craig, if your last name was Gakpo, you could make the starting 11. Well, I was doing a bit of painting earlier on, and I was able to cut in and go left. So, I'm already one up on Cody, because I can cut in and go left, and I can cut in and go right. So, I'm already one up. Right, ladies and gents, a quick reminder. We are giving away this beautiful signed and framed Steven Gerrard shirt completely free. Scan the QR code below or use the link in the description for further details on how you can enter. Thank you to our friends at the Collector's Corner as well, who are giving us a signed item every month for 2026 to give away to our community. And if you'd like to treat yourself to something from the Collector's Corner, that QR code in the bottom corner will automatically give you the Anfield Agenda discount code to get 20% off any purchase you'd like to make as well. If you'd like to use the code on its own, you can see the link in the description of the stream, or just use Anfield Agenda 1. That's the discount code. But again, we do appreciate your support, and we will be giving away an item every single month. All you have to do is be in our WhatsApp group and follow the instructions in there to enter. Thoughts on the landlord starting again, Craig? So I didn't understand this landlord joke for ages, because remember, I'm not on Twitter. So I didn't get the landlord joke. I seen people putting landlord in the chat last week, and I was very confused. I'm thinking, what the fuck? Landlord? What? I didn't know what was going on, genuinely, until Connor explained it to me. And then it kind of made sense. So, yeah, at least I know now who you're referencing when you say landlord. I didn't know for ages. Ekatike to score a hat-trick, said that meme guy. Can you explain it? So apparently Cody Gakpo owns some properties that he rents out, and there's been some complaints about vermin or infestation or stuff like that I really don't know the ins and outs of. That's where the landlord thing came from. But like I said, I don't know the ins and outs of it. I didn't even get the reference until Connor explained it to me. But yeah, have a little search of it, and you'll see what I mean. Now again, in this scenario, I'm sure what's happened is that Gakpo's leased them out through a letting agency or something who haven't done their part. I don't know, but apparently they weren't in the nicest of condition. But like I said, we don't have all the information on that. I am Fionn said, I was supposed to be at Anfield tonight, but the guy who got tickets from never sent me and sold them twice. 268 for 3 tickets down the drain. Stuff like that, mate, is why I am always so cautious about telling people anyways to get tickets rather than going directly to the clubs. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Yeah, I was going to say, is there any other way you can maybe grab some outside from somebody, but like 268 quid down the drain. What a scumbag for doing that to you. First and foremost, like, and you said sold them twice. I would say they might have been sold 3, 4 or 5 times, mate. You know, because these type of people, they usually pull that scam over and over and over and over, and you wonder would anybody have actually gotten the real tickets. But I'm so sorry that you got scammed like that, mate, and what a lowlife doing that to you. Why not start Rio or Jones on the left? Much love. Well, Jones isn't in the squad today. He's ill, so we don't have him available. But I agree with you on the Rio thing. We were discussing it a little bit earlier on in the stream about would this have been a good opportunity. Now look, my thought process is that he probably wants to try to have this game won early and then give Rio 30, 35 minutes and get players off and rested up for the Newcastle game. Because Newcastle, if my memory's right, they're playing PSG tonight. Is that right? So difficult last game for them. And they need something from it as well. So let's see what happens there. They're going to want to come to Anfield, and we know they hate our guts. So it's going to be a difficult game in that regard. But also, they lost the last game at home to Aston Villa, so they're going to be hell-bent on trying to get a win as well. So I'm not expecting Saturday night to be easy by any stretch. We're, as well as going to a random school, picking the first PE teacher we see and make them head coach. Look, at least we're all on the same page, right? Is there anybody, genuinely, anybody in the chat who still believes in Arna and can turn it around? If there is anybody in the chat, let us know. Because I'd like to have a chat with you. Not because I want to jump down your throat or anything like that. Far from it. I just want to understand things that maybe I don't understand, or perspective that maybe I don't understand. Brad says you made a valid point. What? It happens every so often, Brad, you know. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. You made a valid point which stuck with me. If Manchester United can get a manager that understands the badge, why can't we? Hopefully. Yeah, exactly. 6 in the next 2. You're right. There's no reason. And like I said, that's the idea of bringing in a Gerrard or somebody in the temporary measure, is to reinstill that fire, that belief, the passion, to make the connection back between the fans and the players. Because it isn't there at the minute. Because Slot's blocking that connection. And for football to work and to thrive, Anfield needs emotion and a connection. And everybody needs to be pulling in the same direction. And Arna right now is just dividing. And he even said it himself. When it gets to this point, it's pretty much impossible to turn it round. And I'll give you his quote on it. He said, "It's going to be really difficult to quiet the outside noise when the position we're in. Even if we win a few games, every loss, the noise will come back. It's impossible to shut down the noise at a club like this if you're not competing to win the league." It really winds me up that he keeps calling it outside noise, because the media aren't writing that he should be sacked. So the outside noise he's talking about is you and me, the Liverpool fans, that dare not be happy with the slop he's serving up. The boos were, again, non-existent at first in his mind, and then he changed his mind, and the boos were there, but people probably regretted those boos when they went home. He is not with us. He does not have a grasp of reality of this situation. But he's not wrong. I told you that once the fans start to turn on a manager, every loss, the situation's going to get worse. Every points drop, the situation's going to get worse. And it will. So again, if the manager's openly saying that, you know that, I know that, he knows that, the owners must well know that. So again, why are we allowing this to happen? Really strange at the minute, because in the corner of my eye, I'm seeing Dara O'Brien on my screen, full screen, with brand new mock the week, and I'm thinking, retire and give me your show, Dara. You know, I could do it. I could fill in a mock the week. I could do it, Dara. Give me the chance. If you're sick or anything like that, you know, I can come in and go. I can do all the Dara O'Brien stuff. I can be on megabuses. I could be that guy. Right. Let's be honest, Rio should have definitely started tonight, said James Hart. It depends which way you want to look at it. I think if he gets 30 minutes at the end, this will make sense to me. If he doesn't get minutes, it's probably because the game hasn't been killed off as quickly as it needs to be. So I think the plan is to get the game won and give him his minutes, and then rest some lads up for the weekend. But that was probably the plan against Barnsley in the FA Cup, and then he had to empty the bench because it was 2-1 and a bit too close for comfort, and he had to bring on the likes of Wirtz and Ekitike at that time. So, again, even that plan he couldn't get right. So tonight, We should be winning this game comfortably, and he should be able to get the likes of Engamoa off the bench and give people a breather. Well, Gali said, under Klopp, teams did not want to play us. Under Slot, they can't wait to play us. He lost the fear factor that was created. Look, let's look at it this way, Well. He's lost the fear factor. He's lost the press, which Laura Hunter discussed in that piece that I read out a while ago. So the press isn't right up the front. We're not shooting on target. We create the most chances, but have the 9th most shots on target. So many of the stats just aren't adding up. And he just keeps thinking he's unlucky. So we play a team with a low block. He hates the low block. Play a team that don't have a low block and they beat us, yet he still finds an excuse. This time it's the wind. It's just, yeah. It's shocking. I joined late. What happened to Jones? He's ill. So I hope he genuinely is ill and this isn't some cover for him being sold to Spurs. I swear to God that better not be the case. So we'll take it at face value that he's ill, but definitely going to be keeping a close eye on the situation. Gerrard is not a realistic option. He'd be open to join in April if he wants to avoid tax implications. I know, mate, but even if it isn't Gerrard, I could name Thiago, Dirk Cow, Robbie Fowler. You know, there are so many that we could name that could come in. But look, yes, Gerrard does have those tax implications, and I don't know quite what amounts of numbers we're talking about there, but you'd hope that something could be figured out, you know, because if it's a few bob that's stopping us, well, we've got problems if it's just a money thing. But then again, I can't figure out why we want to sell Andy Robertson mid-season for £3 million. That doesn't make any sense to me either. Once in a while, you need to throw your toys out of the pram. Get off your high horse and sack him out of the pram. Oh, mate, I'm all up for a few toys being thrown out of the pram. I'll fire them if they want. If Hughes and Edwards don't want to do it, I'll do it. Send me in. Put me in, coach. I'll do it with respect and, you know, courtesy, but quickly. How much would he have to pay to slack Slot? I think his contract has about, someone threw around a figure of about 9 to 10 million quid based off salaries and stuff like that. So yeah, let's say that. But even at that, it shouldn't be, because it shouldn't even be a factor. Because potentially missing out on Champions League football or getting knocked out in the Champions League earlier could cost us a lot of money. But that's okay though. It's okay because Arne told us that it was a good thing that we lost to PSG. Remember? It was a good thing. You think I'm smoking crack here or something and I don't... I've lost my grip on reality, but again, he said, this won't be a popular thing to say, but maybe the reason we won the league last season is that we had to play Paris Saint-Germain in the last 16. They beat us, and then we had to play once a week to prepare for the next game. He's trying to say getting knocked out of the Champions League by Paris Saint-Germain helped us win the league. What he is neglecting to tell you is that there was 10 league games left, and we needed 7 points to guarantee the league from 30. And he's somehow trying to make the claim that going out of the Champions League in the last 16 to Paris Saint-Germain was a good thing and helped us win the league. He is so full of shit, it is not even funny. That was very quickly shouted down by fans like Simon Brundish and others who said, no, we needed 7 points from 10 games. And that's if everybody won every other game. 7 points. And he thinks it was a good thing. And that was after he rimmed Paris Saint-Germain and Luis Enrique about how great they were and how amazing they are and what a team they are and what a joy it was to be beaten by them, blah, blah. He's just... Yeah. And again, though, here's the fun part. Where were the journalists pushing back on it? Where were the journalists saying, Arne, that's nonsense, mate. Nowhere to be seen. Spineless little fucking dweebs not got any backbone to ask the serious questions and say, sorry, Arne, that's garbage, mate. You're talking shy. Remember the excitement before a Klopp Champions League game? Oh, I definitely do. I definitely do. Like, even tonight, I've no doubt that we're going to win the game. But I don't have the same level of buzz that I should have for a Champions League game. Because everything under Arne at the minute feels like hard work. And every time I look at him, I get angrier, more frustrated. Every time he speaks, there's just more disillusionment, more disconnect from the club. He got called out tonight on TNT by Stevie. Good! Stevie ain't wrong. Stevie wasn't wrong when he called him out about the low block before either. But this is why I get so worked up about these journalists, folks. They're very quick to tell us all about the Liverpool way and all the... And by the way, I am talking about the ones that cover our club locally, not real journalists. They just sit back and they allow this shit to be said and then print it without any type of pushback to go, well, this is nonsense. This is silly. Seeing Gerrard's new comments, Craig, spot on. I haven't seen them because I have the TV on, but it's on, obviously, silent, so I can't hear anything. Connor's driving, and our head moderator, Keane, who would normally send me all the quotes and stuff, is at the game. So at the moment, I don't have the ability to see what Steven Gerrard's saying, unless Mark or somebody sends it to me on WhatsApp. I don't know exactly what he said, but if it was in any way critical of Slot, he was right. What the F is this lineup? Scared to drop Gakpo, McAllister, who's been dreadful. Should be Jones in here. Well, Jones isn't available tonight, mate. He's sick. But I get your point. Your point stands, Jacob. But Jones isn't even on the bench tonight for the Reds. He is ill. And he would have been a suspension worry. If he had got a yellow, he would have been suspended. But he isn't available for tonight anyway. So there you go. Connor's already sent it to me, Stephen Gerrard. Even though he's driving, the man's doing bits. So, this is Gerrard's comments on Slot's Paris Saint-Germain quote. This is what Stevie G had to say. I can understand the fans being frustrated on the back of that interview for the simple reason is they were 15 points clear. In my opinion, they had the league wrapped up at that point. The sort of say that helped them is a body blow for the fans, really, because the fans have been on the journey. They pay good money to follow the team in Champions League games. The frustration and the emotion of going out of the Champions League for a player or a fan, it hurts. It kills you. The sort of say that went and helped you when you're already 15 points clear, you can understand the frustrations. Yep, exactly. And to go a step further than Stevie said, the man is talking shite. Slot. Absolute pony of the highest order. Pat said, Craig, hope you weren't affected by those floods today. Very bad. No, our town was okay, thankfully. The towns either side of us had some bad, but where we live, we were alright, thankfully, mate. But appreciate you looking out. And the likes of Arklow and Escorthy, places like that. Yeah, some serious flooding, and we hope everyone's okay. Right, ladies and gents, we need your help. We've got 23 minutes till kickoff. You know what I'm going to ask you? If you can, do hit that like button for us. Make sure that we get up to the 1,000 likes before the game kicks off. That has been our record for such a long time. Right, also, again, if you'd like to enter to win that signed and framed Steven Gerrard shirt or an item that we will be giving away every single month in 2026 with thanks to our friends at the Collector's Corner. So you can win that signed framed Steven Gerrard shirt completely free. All you have to do is scan the QR code or use the link in the description for further details. And if you'd like to treat yourself to something from our friends at the Collector's Corner, maybe a signed shirt, a UFC glove, a mystery package, you can get 20% off with our discount code, which you can find on the screen there, Anfield Agenda 1, or you can just simply scan that QR code in the bottom corner and that will bring you in. But the code Anfield Agenda 1 at checkout gets you 20% off anything at the Collector's Corner. What happened to respecting others? You want him gone, but most of us, but Sorry, what happened to respecting others? You want him gone, I'm sure. Most of us want change, but now you sound spiteful, in my honest opinion. That's a, I look, that's fair. That's a fair point. And I don't think I've been overly disrespectful. You may disagree, and I respect your view. And your point is a very fair one. I'm treating him with the same respect he's treating us as fans, which is fuck all. But I appreciate you pulling me up on that, and don't ever be afraid to do it, my man. If you do think I'm overstepping on something, you have presented that in a way, mate, that I'm happy to go back and forth with you. I think I'm being respectful enough, personally, compared to the disrespect of treating us like idiots that we're getting from him. But I do understand where you're coming from. And honestly, this is me trying to be respectful, bro. But thank you for saying it. I have no problem with anything like that. If you think that, mate, you're part of our community, you're absolutely able to voice your opinion, and I'll take it on board. Split the prize value, Craig. No, no, I'm all right. I've got my framed Stephen Gerrard shirt already. I bought a load of stuff myself personally from the Collector's Corner over the last year, and the reason that we're working with them is because I'm so happy that I'm so happy with the quality of everything I've gotten from them with regards to the packaging, how it's been delivered, how everything looks. That we just got talking and we decided, what if we just did something for 2026 where we gave away an item every month? And yeah, we always like to try and give back. Right, let's keep going. Craig, my stepdad was a big fan of Liverpool and I struggled a lot and suffer from depression and anxiety. I'm 50 now, but I love watching your videos. And then I've said already, your videos help me. Well, thank you, my friend. And I hope they continue to help. And I hope you continue to find a place where you feel you can be yourself and have a bit of fun with us. Um, on your anxiety, like same as I would always say for myself, if it ever does get too much for you, do speak to somebody, a doctor, a teacher, a mental health professional. You know, if you ever feel like it's becoming intrusive, don't ever feel you can't speak up, mate. It's, you know, we talked about this last night in the stream, and so much love and respect for Paddy Pimblett. You know, after he suffered his heartbreaking loss at the weekend to Justin Gaethje in an interim title fight, to hear him stand there and talk about men speaking up and mental health being important and don't become another statistic of suicide, I was immensely proud. I've never met Paddy Pimblett, but I was so proud that a scouser like that is standing up and saying something that, you know, what made it really special to me was I can only imagine what was going through his head having lost the fight, and it was a war, you know. So he's beaten up, he's hurting emotionally, his dreams are crushed, but it's the telling of the making of the man that he stood there, spoke about Diogo and Andre and paid respect to their loss, and spoke about mental health in men and not losing more men to suicide. That to me, I mean, I could not have any more admiration and respect for Paddy Pimblett. An absolute legend in that moment where he was hurting. He still found time to say it, and what a man, what a man. Arnett's biggest issues is that he always tries to adapt what he thinks the opposition will do instead of letting teams adapt to us. Even today, he said Gravenberch starts at centre-back because how they press. I've made this point as well, Nimrod, quite a bit. He's almost like it's an inferiority complex to some extent, in that he is overly concerned with the opposition. Look, they're at Anfield on a European night. Like you've said, we should be forcing our will on them. The fact we have to play Ryan Gravenberch at centre-back, let's be honest, it's a fucking disgrace. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace, and it's a serious indictment of our recruitment that we're in this position. I know the Canade situation and the loss of his father is an out of the blue thing. And of course, understandable completely. And again, we send our condolences to the Canade family. But it's not hard to predict that this could have happened. and that this could still happen if we pick up an injury at centre back for the remainder of the season. So yeah, we got to get our finger out and try. Will we do something in the remaining days? I mean, it doesn't look like it, but Haley said, love this channel. Smash the like and subscribe. Thank you, Haley. Appreciate your support. Saunders said, Liverpool 3, Man City 2 with Coutinho, one of my favourite games. I was quite literally hiding behind the sofa for that game because I wasn't making content at that point. And I was quite literally hiding behind the sofa. And James Milner put the frighteners up me when he came on for City in that game because I think he was the player that changed it. And then when Coutinho got that goal, I honestly thought maybe we were winning the league that year from that point. World of Naturalist said, I think Slot has been winding up the fans so much that there's a clapback now. He's been a disgrace, and his fans, it's embarrassing to hear what he's saying and what others are saying about him. I think the gentleman earlier on, I completely understand why he said to me, do you think maybe this is a bit disrespectful? I don't think I am being, but I can understand why he said it to me, because he is right. I do speak about respect quite a bit, but like I said, I always treat people how they treat me. And I think Arne's taken us for idiots. Oh, yes. Connor made a really good point to me. I want to ask you a question on it. On Steven Gerrard. So we're talking about maybe why Steven Gerrard couldn't come in and be the coach later because of tax implications, right? Connor just asked me a question. How does it work that he's working for TNT then? Genuinely. Like, how does that work? He's working for TNT Sport, right? Which is in the UK as far as I'm aware. So how is he working there? And there's no implications, but if he was to become Liverpool coach, the tax implications would kick in. I'm sure there's some creative accountancy way around this or something, but yeah, it's not something I wouldn't have thought of, to be fair. TNT is Saudi. No, it's not. TNT is one, it's owned by, I believe, Discovery, but the offices are in the UK where the games are being covered, as far as I'm aware. TNT isn't in the US. Okay, there's a lot of misconceptions here. Steven Gerrard, to my understanding, is sitting in an office in the UK, a studio in England, doing that stream tonight, as far as I'm aware. But unless it's outside the UK or something, but he's not over in Saudi and he's not in America. He's very much on British television, and I don't know where the studio is, but I think it's in London. Who it's owned by is irrelevant, because Liverpool's owners are American. So if you want to make that point, like, same thing. It doesn't matter where your owners are. It matters where you are and where you are working. For instance, if I go to the UK to do a show, I pay my tax in the UK for that show. I don't pay it in Ireland. So Steven Gerrard is working in anywhere in the UK. He's working in the UK. That's it. It doesn't matter what the company is, because like I said, if that was the way, then they could just easily do up a little workaround company that's set up outside the UK for Steven Gerrard to manage Liverpool in. It's yeah, it's not that straightforward. Craig, choose result or performance tonight. You can't have both. Result, definitely, because tonight's about result. Tonight we need to make sure we're in the top 8, so it is about result. And I'm going to say it kind of another which way as well. However well we perform, it won't change my view tonight, because it's Qarabag and we should be winning and it should be straightforward. So it's going to have to, like, I don't think there's change in my mind at this point on Slot, but it's going to have to be like good performances against Newcastle, good performances against Manchester City. We could win this game 15-0 and I wouldn't change my opinion on Slot one iota, because again, the opposition is not the most difficult we're going to face. In the City of London, no tax. What? Sorry, what? In the City of London, no tax. I don't get this, but I don't know anyone who lives in London or works in London that doesn't pay tax. Liverpool's offices are based down in London, and again, I'm not aware of. So, by that case, if someone has a football club in the centre of London, none of their footballers are making any money or anything, or are paying any tax, earning 300 grand a week, but because they come on, man, that's not sensible stuff either. Jabby, Stevie, Tiago equals hairline Avengers. Bring it, said Sonder. What happens if Van Dijk gets injured? There's a paddle that we don't have a creek, and we're up it. Basically, the City of London is different to the rest of London. No, it's not. Not from a tax perspective, it isn't. No, this is the argument is somebody saying no tax in the City of London, and I'm telling you that that's bullshit. Everybody has to pay tax. You can't just, in that case, there'd be 10-mile high skyscrapers from every company in the UK wanting to have an office in there so that you don't have to pay any tax in it. Like, I'm not aware of anybody in the UK who doesn't pay tax. Yeah, I'm not having it, sorry. Good evening, Craig. Hope you're feeling well. Because I tell you what, I'd have my fucking company in the City of London if that was the case. I'd be setting up Anfield Agenda in the City of London. So I don't have to pay any. The Stephen Gerrard tax thing and TNT working is to do with the residency days rule, I believe. Maybe, Russell, yeah. Maybe it's because he's only in X amount of days and it's very sporadic compared to if he was at Liverpool, he'd have to be on the training ground every day of the week. That I can totally understand, mate. That has far more sensibility to it than any of the other discussions we've had so far. Paul and Colleen watching. Hey Craig, how are you? The both of you. Appreciate you, Paul and Colleen. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're having a lovely evening. Evening, Craig. Must win, no excuse. Slot must walk if we lose. Thank you for all the work that you and Connor put in. Best channel, WFM. Thank you, Josh. I can't even comprehend a world, Josh, where we don't win this game. Like, truly, it hasn't even crossed my mind that we don't. Like, they're 22-1 to beat us. And I think even a draw was like 9 or 10-1. So it is almost inconceivable to me that we don't win this game. So yeah, I haven't even allowed that thought to enter my mind. But either way, like I said, in my opinion, he is going to be fired sooner or later. It's just a matter of when everybody at the club have had enough. Why isn't Reece Williams available to play at centre back? Apart from the reason he's not good enough. He's just not good enough. Did they cancel his contract, by the way? I can't remember what happened with Reece Williams. But yeah, he's not good enough. Is the long and short answer. How do I feel about the 11? It's not bad. It's not bad. Like, I don't have really, like, I didn't look at it and go, other than obviously we're playing Gravenberch at centre back, which I'd rather not see. I'd rather that was Endo, but maybe there's some tactical tweak to it where we go to a back three and Gravenberch moves into midfield or something. I don't know, but yeah. Hey Craig, here as always, pal. Hope you're well, said Will. I'm good, Will. Good. Today was a good, productive day, Will. So yeah, feeling good. Floors down in the studio. Walls are getting to be done. Some of the paneling is up. Yeah, we're moving along. We're moving along, mate. It's been a good few days. We can start to see the finish line now of the whole project. So we literally stood there watching paint dry earlier on, though. Like, we made a joke about it in the WhatsApp, but we were literally standing there watching paint dry, trying to choose a different colour or to choose a colour red. X Lumpy, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC. What channel is it on? I'm watching it on TNT Sport. TNT Sport 2 is what I'm watching on anyway. Right, we've got 6 minutes to kick off, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't, don't forget to enter our giveaway. Win a signed Steven Gerrard frame shirt completely free. Scan the QR code below or use the link in the description for further details. And as well as that, any item that you would like to purchase, if you'd like to treat yourself to something from the Collector's Corner, as many of you have already done, you can get 20% off by using our code Anfield Agenda 1 that you can see in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, or just scan that little QR code that will automatically add the code to you any purchases at checkout. And we're going to have an item every single month throughout 2026, a signed item that we're giving away with thanks to our friends at the Collector's Corner. We win, we go to the next round. Simple. Yes. We don't win, we probably play a playoff, and the draw for that's on Friday. So what we need to do tonight is make sure we finish in the top 8. And to finish in the top 8, the Reds have got to win the game to guarantee it. A draw may get us in, depending on other results, it may not. But we know if we win the game, we can't finish any lower than 4th. So let's go win the game. Just Lumpy. Okie dokie, I'll try to remember that one, mate. Lumpy, we'll go with Lumpy. There you go. Not to be edgy, but I'd take Sterling over Gakpo. Agree? No, I don't. What's Sterling now? 30, 31, something like that. Hasn't played properly in about a year. No, I'd take Cody Gakpo over Raheem Sterling, to be honest, mate. Right, ladies and gents, couple of things. If you can, do hit that subscribe button for us. We're only 135 subscribers away from the next 1,000. We've already got the likes up, so thank you for that. Let me run through the Liverpool 11 for you, just in case you haven't seen it today. It is Alisson Becker in goal, right back Jeremy Frimpong, left back Andy Robertson. Your centre back pairing for today, and yes, you are hearing this correctly, is your captain Virgil van Dijk and his Dutch compatriot Ryan Gravenberch. Midfield, McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Wirtz. Then it's Gakpo, Salah, and Ugo Ekitike. Again, please don't take the formation on the screen as the formation. It's just for illustrative purposes. The Liverpool bench today: Marmadashvili, Woodman, Endo, Kirkes, Chiesa, Nioni, Nallo, Morrison, and Engamoa. No Curtis Jones as he misses the game with illness. Killian said, what's going on with Slot starting Gakpo again? Probably a numerical thing, mate. You know, you could make the argument for Rio, but we know how much he has belief and trust in Cody Gakpo, so let's just hope for a good performance. Right, ladies and gents, so much to get through. We've got 3 minutes to go till kickoff. Do get your predictions coming in. There's also a link pinned to the top of the chat for the giveaway if you haven't entered it yet as well. I don't know what to expect from this one, but I'm fully expecting a win anyway. Anfield's looking magnificent, as it always does on these European nights. Gerrard would do far better job. I think he'd be good in the short term, but not in the long term. But I think he could do a good job in the interim role. How am I doing? I'm good, thank you, Martin. Yeah, I'm good, man. Good. See, your name's Martin Darts. Well, our dartboard's going up in the studio tomorrow, so looking forward to that. Yeah, starting to get a bit of practice and a bit of hopefully. You like it for meditation purposes almost as well, throwing a few darts. Paul Savage, how are you, Paul? Said Craig, love the channel. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for all the great job that you do. Watched the Reds at my first Anfield match after 50 years as a fan versus Brighton. Was amazing, but depressing since. Much love. Well, I'm delighted that you got over for a game, my man. Well done to you on that one. And I'm glad that you had a good experience. I had my bucket list game this season where my whole life I've wanted to see Liverpool play Manchester United, and I got to do it this season with seats from the Sevens Lounge, and unfortunately it was a 2-1 victory for United. But the result didn't go our way, the performance didn't go our way. But like I said, the staff in the Sevens Lounge and inside Anfield, I could not speak highly enough of. They were all amazing. I think Virgil has played every game so far, said Star Girl. How are you today, Craig? Oh my God, if we lose tonight. We won't. This should be a straightforward evening for us. Yeah, it should be. I can't even contemplate the idea of a loss. To me, this should be a straightforward win. 3-4-1, something like that. And then Booker plays in the last 16 and go from there. Craig Houlden, the darts. Well, you spelt my surname wrong. It's not Holden, it's Houlden, and I still have no clue where that U came from, by the way. Right, folks, we're about to get underway. Sit back, relax, and I'll take you through the game. The Reds will be attacking the Annie Road end in the first half. We're in our home strip of all red, of course. Qarabag in their all white strip. We are waiting for the referee to get us underway. He's waiting for the little go-ahead from the man on the sidelines. We are underway, ladies and gents. We are off. We do not do the decent thing and launch it out long. Immediately, we try to work the ball out into the right channel. Now we go back to Gravenberch, inside to Dominic Soboslai. Won the title, you show no loyalty, needs the season. No, disagree. Won the title, yes. I show plenty of loyalty by letting him get to this point. And again, you're in the minority on this one, bro, not me. If you want to accept mediocrity and write it off for a season because he won the league last year, that's your right to do so. But don't tell me I've got no loyalty. Fuck you. You know twiddly shit about me, bro. And my loyalty was dried up a long time ago. But if you want to accept mediocrity and give him the season and miss out on the Champions League and all that, you do you. Craig, looking forward to seeing Gakpo doing the usual 30 step overs in Sky, and it don't rate the bloke at all. I don't have the same frustration for Gakpo as some do. I do think he can be a bit one-dimensional at times, but he doesn't irritate me as much as he does some others. And there he goes, on the inside straight away. Ball into Wirtz. Wirtz out left side to Robbo. Robbo tries a cross that was never on, and you could see when he was pulling back his leg, the cross was never on. But still goes in and the cross is blocked. Quick throw in taken. And to the no loyalty guy, you're in the minority, mate, at this point. So, again, I'm not saying you're not entitled to your opinion, but the way you started it was, again, condescending and arrogant to the extreme in that I show no loyalty. So you're judging me straight away. Why don't you just say, I think the manager deserves more time? You know, why do you feel like you have to belittle somebody else to try to make a point that I don't actually think you even believe? I think you're just trying to wind me up. Right, I'll sync up now 2 minutes. It is 2 minutes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we already have a player down. I think it's Gravenberch, is it? No, it's not Gravenberch, sorry. It's Frimpong. Frimpong's gone down holding his lower abdomen on the right-hand side. So yeah, Frimpong's gone down. It looks like it's either a groin injury or a lower abdomen, and Endo's getting warmed up already. So 2 minutes in and we already look like our only other right back is out. Yep, he pulls up, nobody near him. You can see they're the ones to worry about. And fair play to the Qarabag player who did turn around and put the ball out. Very sporting of them. Put this on going to sleep. Come on, 4-0. Salah 2. My loyalty is to the club, not the manager, said Dean Tucker. Our loyalty is to Liverpool Football Club, said Ronald. Exactly. Thank you for making that point as well, both of you. But look, honestly, it's based off his underperformances and his lack of management of the squad. It's nothing to do with loyalty, because loyalty, again, is... Loyalty shouldn't be blind. You shouldn't just follow anybody. Like, if somebody walks off the edge of a cliff, you don't follow them out of loyalty. You know, you're allowed to question things, and you're allowed to say, is this right? So loyalty is, again, as Roy Keane said, if you want loyalty, get a dog. Preach on, Craig. I agree with everything you said. The loyalty, for me, ended in November. For me, it ended after the Forest game. Anyway, we look like we're going to see Endo coming on for Frimpong, which means we've now no right back for the game coming up against Newcastle. So that's only going to get worse, but it's okay, because the brain trust said we don't need any signings. Hughes and Edwards, you know, the two geniuses, the masterminds, the calculator experts. No, don't need any signings, so nothing to worry about. I'm sure we'll find somebody out in the Sunday League pitches that can play right back for us. Qarabag trying to play it through midfield. A lazy, weak challenge from Maka. Sees Carabao moving into the right channel where their player slips. But it's okay. He still has time to get back up because Virgil couldn't be bothered to go out and try to challenge him. He can slip, get back up around their 18-yard box and still keep the ball because there's no pressure on you. Qarabag still going in possession, right-hand side. Ball inside. Again, Liverpool half-arsed challenges. Qarabag trying to play their way into the penalty area. Verge heads the ball to Andy Robertson, who clears it long into midfield. Ekitike, his header, blocked and won back by Qarabag. Now Salah has it. Qarabag player slipping all over the place. Szoboszlai wins the ball back from that slip, puts it into Gakpo. Gakpo, across. Wirtz, strike. Again, he takes too many touches and he's closed down and it's blocked. Drops to Maka. Maka strike. It's blocked. Szoboszlai, blocked. Did I say blocked? Because everything's being blocked. Yeah, those Qarabag players need to have a look at their footwear because a few of them are falling all over the shop here. And again, let's not do another thing where we don't get the ball out and make a substitution, boys. For the love of fucking God, we're down to 10 again. Endo's on, actually. Good, Endo's on. I didn't even see him sneaking on, but Endo is on. So we are back. So Endo's in at right back. So our back line on the right-hand side consists now of Ryan Gravenberch and Wataru Endo. For me, there's no such thing as a bad player, just bad tactics and a bad manager, said Gary. I think we have to get Alonso at all costs, said Pocky. We'll never walk alone. Thank you, bro. Much love. And the thing is, like, he's sitting there now available, Alonso, because Madrid were stupid enough to fire him. Ball in from Robertson. It's cleared away. Again, it breaks in midfield. Qarabag come away with it, and there's a collision in the middle of the park. But referee waves play on. Qarabag look to switch it up. They move it into the right channel, where Maka's back there defending. Qarabag in possession. Edge of our penalty area, right-hand side. They've kind of been playing keep ball, to be honest with you. Qarabag have been brighter here in the opening 6 or 7 minutes. Our opportunity came from a Qarabag player slipping and we still managed to make a mess of it. Ball now back to the Qarabag keeper. Ekitike goes on the press. Qarabag again, look at that bravery. Playing it short and playing around the Liverpool press. Again, we win it back though. Qarabag, edge of their own penalty area, but they get another block in. So there's certainly mistakes to be had with the press against this Qarabag side. We've won it back again here now. Cody Gakpo won it. Now it's Robertson. Back in towards Gakpo, but the pass wasn't on and Qarabag regather it. I jinxed us with the strong lineup comment. Frimpong have been playing well. Damn. You're going to have to start questioning now, Chad, aren't we? Both of the fitness availability of our right backs. Because both of them have already had multiple injuries this season. So again, are we in a situation now where we've got two good players in the right back positions, but they can't stay fit? Like Frimpong has been able to go 6 weeks without an injury this season. Surely we get a lone player at the back at least. Sorry, mate. Let me just... Qarabag are on the attack here. Strike straight at Allison. Again, nobody near him. Player right hand side of our area. Ball square to him. Gets a strike away, and thankfully it's straight at Allison. Look how easy that was. Look at this shit. Oh my fuck. Robertson not there. Nowhere to be found at left back when Qarabag were in possession. And with regards to bringing in a player on loan, again, is that the standard we want? Like, we should be expecting better here. At least if we had bought in a centre-back and Gomez got back fit, there's your cover at right-back. But we're so stretched thin now with bodies that these injuries are going to pile up because players are going to have more and more demands on them, the first-teamers. Ekatike. He tries to bundle his way through. Gakpo then wins it back, goes back to Robertson. There was an offside in that though. Referee brings it back for a free kick to Qarabag. What happened with Frimpong? He was running and just felt something immediately. You know, it was one of those nobody near him things. So, and fair play to the Qarabag player, by the way, because they could have just run around Frimpong towards the penalty area, but they very sportingly put the ball out. But yeah, it was just went down, felt something with nobody near him. Bissy Media said, Liverpool gives me so much stress. I don't think you're on your own, sir. I don't think you're on your own. Another panic buy like Kabak and Davies on the 31st, said Nessie. See, again, Nessie, how bad now does this not getting Mark A idea look? There's been 3 or 4 times this season where I've told you something's going to happen if something didn't happen. The thing didn't happen, and then the warning that I told you came into full effect. And it's happening over and over, and it's not rocket science. You know, the more workload on these players, the thinner the squad, the more minutes, the more chance of injury. But Arda probably want us knocked out of this though, so we can concentrate on finishing 4th in the league. You know, doesn't want the distraction like that Champions League win or loss over PSG. That was, you know, that won us the league, even though it was total bullshit and we were 15 points clear. City 1-0 up against Galatasaray. PSG 1-0 up against Newcastle. Reid could be bought in January. Of course we don't though. Reid. Look, mate, whatever happens now, it's a panic situation. And the panic situation could have been averted with some forward planning. But again, the geniuses, the calculator club, that remove the emotion from the decision making. Well, apparently fear isn't an emotion either because they just sit tight and do nothing and hide in the shadows. Unlucky there from Ekatike. He tries to bend in a shot, but he dragged it a little bit wide to the keeper's left-hand post. And we have Newcastle and Man City now coming up and no right backs and very little at centre back. Again, our right defensive situation right now here in this game is Ryan Gravenberch and Wataru Endo. That's our right back and our right centre back in this game. Robbo. To Virgil. Soboslai. Out to Endo. Back inside to Salah. Salah turns. Tries to dink one in. Lovely ball. Unlucky. Unlucky. Good ball, Mo. Mo cuts inside, spins onto his left foot, and kind of plays an outwardly curling ball over the top looking for Gakpo. Would have been a very close on or offside, but again, unlucky. Good vision by Mo. Good timed run by Gakpo. It was just a tiny bit too far ahead of him, but good play and a good spot by Mo. Right, Qarabag keeper goes long with a goal kick. Wirtz wins the header, but it goes straight to a Qarabag player in the centre of the park. Robertson. Back to Van Dijk. He pings one into the left channel to Cody Gakpo, who manages to keep it in play. Cody now gets into the penalty area. Again, he's looking for support. Gives it to Hugo Ekitike. Ekitike is dispossessed, but it goes off the defender for Liverpool corner. Right, corner here to the Reds. Dominic Szoboszlai to come across to take it. Kirkes is on the bench, Alex, mate. He's on the bench. Jones isn't available today with an illness. Right. Certainly seems to be a bit of a height advantage in here for the Reds if we can get a decent delivery. Virgil looks by far the tallest lad out there. Right, Szoboszlai gives the signal. Corner in. Flicked on. Keeper claws it away. Goal. Ball's over the line. 1-0. 1-0 Liverpool. Alexis McAllister. Ball went over the line before it was clawed back from the goalkeeper. Referee points to the halfway line to say the ball had crossed the line. The Reds are 1-0 up. From a set piece, ladies and gentlemen. From a set piece. That's 3 set piece goals. We've been spoiled. We're turning it into Arsenal. So the ball's flicked on. Yeah, you can see it definitely is over the line. And it was McAllister with the last touch with his head. So Virgil kind of half hit it and then it got blocked by the defender. Then it pops up and Maka heads it and it just about gets over the line before the keeper claws it, but the referee was right. It did cross the line. It's 1-0 to the Reds. Are they going to keep playing with Endo next week or move Szoboszlai back? I don't know. Chad, maybe Jones could even be played at right back. We've seen him used there before. But anyway, thankfully we're off. We're off and running. Russ said we're threadbare. We certainly are, Russ, mate. We certainly are. 16 minutes in, though, and the Reds do have the league. It's Liverpool 1, Qarabag 0. Alexis McAllister with the goal. Happy 12 months, and yes, Maka. Appreciate you, Ruthless. Thank you so much, man. A year with us as a member. Really, really appreciate that. And happy anniversary. Right, so we've got the breakthrough. Now let's see how we play. Again, if you are joining us a little bit late, unfortunately, a little bit of bad injury news. Jeremy Frimpong went off inside the first 3 minutes with what looked like either a groin strain or something in and around that area anyway. Qarabag now on the attack. Strike, which is dragged wide, and Allison gets down and throws you could have thrown a cap on it, to be honest with you. The strike was going wide, but Allison smothers it anyway. Gravenberch to Maka. Back to Gravenberch. Press comes on him. He goes back to Ali. Ali to McAllister. Szoboszlai. Even at this, though, it's like walking pace stuff out there. It's just all so slow. Mrs. SMC 87, or Mr. SMC, 87, said, heard Hughes, Edwards and Slot plan to clone Dom a few times over so he can cover any position on the pitch and just pay the one player salary. Smart thinking. Szoboszlai's all over the shop. Virgil, the Wirtz, back to Robbo. Back inside the Virgil. Virgil goes direct this time. Pings one out right hand side to Salah. Salah takes a touch and it inadvertently goes towards Endo. Back to Salah. Ekitike. He spins back in field. Drives, goes past a couple, then he's dispossessed. A little bit too much, a little bit greedy there. Qarabag now looking to counter. Free kick. Player spins away from Szoboszlai, goes to ground. Referee said foul, free kick, Qarabag pretty much right in the halfway line. Just showing us a replay of the goal line technology where you can clearly see it was over the line. And well done, Maka, for being in the right place at the right time. Right, throw in now to the Reds, far side of the pitch. Endo trying to get on with it quickly. Goes back to Gravenberg. Wirtz. Inside to Maka, back to Wirtz. He's now drifting from left to centre. Plays a ball, it's an ambitious ball looking for Ekitike. Goes off the top of his head and goes through to the Qarabag keeper. Right, Elks. Let's go Maka. Craig, I can smell, I can start the centre back, right back. Carbon said, hey Craig, I do understand why Slot needs to be out, but we have owners that work more about business than emotion. We have to remember that it is a business at the end of the day, and Slot did bring a championship in. And now it's 2-0 to the Reds. Wirtz with the goal. I'll get back to your comment in a minute, mate, but it is 2-0. Florian Wirtz has made it 2-0 to the Reds, so this is looking nice and comfortable, as it should be. And I told you, did I say Wirtz was going to score? Or did I say Wirtz was going to score? I'll talk you through the goal now because I haven't seen it. Ball gets played into Robbo. Robbo to Ekitike. Ekitike wins his challenge, carries the ball, slips it into Wirtz. Wirtz, edge of the box. Beautiful finish into the bottom corner. Lovely controlled finish. Just keeps it low, into the corner, past the keeper. The Reds 2-0 up. Lovely strike from Florian Wirtz. Lovely control finish that. On this, so let's get back to your comment, Carbon. But I don't have to understand the owners running it as a business. Like, I don't have to make, because I'm a fan. And nobody's asking Liverpool to put the club in a financial position that's perilous. But trying to justify keeping a manager because he won the league last year, that's not going to make up for not getting Champions League next year if he misses out. Like, I don't give a shit about it being run as a business because I'm a fan. I don't think of Liverpool as a business. I think of Liverpool as a football club, an institution that almost has caretakers rather than owners, if you get me. Oh, Qarabag now with a chance that Virgil clears. They put in a cross deep. They had it back across goal and Virgil's there to clear it. So yeah, respectfully, bro, get where you're coming from. I just think about it differently. And look, I can understand the owners looking at it from a business perspective, but that's what the tight fucks have got away with not spending money for years. Like, let's not forget, this was one window where they actually start getting a bit proactive and they still brought in a good chunk of money in sales. So, Arna's failing and it's costing money and it's going to cost sponsorships, it's going to cost shirt sales, it's going to cost a lot. So, look, we disagree in it, but again, thank you for sharing your point. Gakpo now. He goes around the outside, gets a shot away and it's blocked. And then he fouls the Qarabag player. Free kick, the Qarabag inside their own penalty area. Like, there's just this mad narrative, Carbon, that because he won a league once, that gives him carte blanche. For me, I think he's already done up the goodwill from that league win. And for me, you can talk about the end of the season failures, but he's carried those failures on into this season, and it's gotten worse. Like, I read through the list there from Laura Hunter, who wrote a great piece on Sky, talking about all of the misgivings and how bad we look on the pitch. So I just don't see any argument, business or otherwise, that justifies keeping a manager that's not doing well. Virgil, the Wirtz, back to Ryan Gravenberch. Because those same owners, bro, if we don't get Champions League, will be the ones saying, well, we need to trim the wage bill. We need to sell on players. We need to balance the books. We haven't got that Champions League money. So again, my argument is, even from the business perspective, getting rid of Arna makes sense at this point as well, from whichever which way you look at it. Qarabag trying to play their way out. Liverpool pressing. Ball with the Qarabag keeper. Salah presses. Keeper plays it out. Gakpo presses. Now he drops off as the Qarabag player goes deeper into his own penalty area. Ball played through midfield. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. That's just too easy. And that's twice Macca's been done, where the player basically just lets the ball roll across his body and that's it. Midfield's opened up. Now they're in a penalty area trying to work space for a shot. Qarabag player Duran goes to ground looking for a penalty. Referee says no. And Liverpool are on the counter-attack here with Salah. Gets his eyes up and overhits the ball looking for Gakpo, and it goes out for a goal kick. They're going to have a look at this Qarabag incident. Oh, I think that'll be a penalty, you know. I think Gravenberch was rash and went through the back of the player. I think that should be a penalty, personally. He says play on. I think we're very lucky. I think we got lucky, lads. I think that's a penalty. Ball back with Allison. Virgil. What do you guys think? Pen or no pen? No pen given, so the answer is no pen. But for me, I thought Gravenberch went through the back of him. I thought it was reckless. Like, if this was the other way round and we were playing Newcastle at the weekend and that happened and we didn't get a penalty, I'd be losing the rag. Qarabag on the attack again. Edge of our penalty area. Virgil gets touch tie. Ball goes wide. Salah manages to get back and go back to Endo. Mali Scouts Gamer said, or Male Scouts Gamer, excuse me, said we could do with bringing Coyote in from Brentford. I have to say I don't know much about him personally, mate. I haven't watched a whole lot of him to give an opinion. Gakpo, strike with his left foot, easy for the keeper to save. Slot has me wanting to lose, so we get sacked. It's so depressing, man. I love the lads, but I can't enjoy seeing us win. Feel guilty to admit it. You're not on your own, Casper. You're not on your own, mate. And I'll never want us to lose a game of football, but I can understand if people think that that's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, why they wouldn't be heartbroken if it happened. But we need to win this game tonight. We're doing it. So that'll put us into the last 16. Then we've got 2 tough league games coming up, and that's honestly where I fear for us. And I've said it. Newcastle and City aren't going to be easy games. Chad said, I don't understand all this pushback on wanting Slot gone. I don't know how anyone can stomach this season so far. They've looked horrible at times. I think people just... 1 second. Cleared away by Virgil. Look, I can understand that some people have a higher tolerance level than others before they think a change needs to be made, or that some people think a league title buys you more time. I just respectfully disagree with them on how much goodwill that buys, because for me, to admit that a league title buys you almost carte blanche is small club thinking, and it's to admit that that's such an anomaly. I just think it sets the wrong tone. A winning club with a winning mentality that wants winning to become a habit doesn't celebrate one league title and then letting it go another 3 or 4 years. You immediately want the standard to be straight back to another league title or challenging for one. And that's this football club. That's how they became the most successful club in British football. You don't do that with winning a league title once and then letting failure happen and watching. But I do respect them because their heart's in the right place. They're trying to have goodwill towards a Liverpool manager. And for me, as a fan to a fellow fan, it's very difficult to push back on that, because I get where they're coming from. I just disagree on it. Paul said we are a small club. I think you're giving it away by the fact that your name ends in United, mate. Trying to say the we part because we aren't Liverpool in your context. And also, I've another point on the business thing, but 1 sec, because there's a super chat came in about it. No fan of any sports team should be thinking of it as a business. We're here to watch our team win and succeed. We're not FSG's accountants. Exactly. And on top of that, let's not forget that their business is now valued at 4.5 billion quid. So their 600 or 700 million quid investment, including the stand, has netted them up to 4.5 billion now. So they're hardly crying into their cornflakes about the valuation of the club. I don't think they'd have had any asset in any time of their business that has increased in value as much as Liverpool Football Club has. So yeah, you'll excuse me if I'm not worrying about FSG's bottom line as well. Male Scouts Gamer said, if Slot is sacked, we don't spend in first season. Why? The whole point of a sporting director is that they do the business. They run the football side of the club, as in the business football side of the club, and the coaches do the coaching. So whoever the manager is, Slot doesn't have free reign to pick all the players. That's an Edwards job and a Hughes job. So the next coach would be the same. Of course, they'd have somewhat of an input, but those sporting decisions are supposed to be longer term ones made by a sporting director. That's the whole point of that role. Right, free kick Qarabag, middle of the park. What do you think are Slot's chances of staying for next season? At least the beginning of it, given the hesitancy of the club board in general. 0. I can tell you categorically he's gone in the summer. There's no change in that, unless by some miracle maybe he wins the Champions League. But he's gone in the summer. If not before then. So he won't be here next season. Turkey has made it 2-0 to Man City against Galatasaray. At the moment, we're still tucked away nicely in fourth. It's going to be interesting at the end of the night to see who does get into that top 8. We will keep you abreast of all those results and situations. I just hope Slot goes regardless of results. So do I, Casper. Every day, every time I get up, mate, I just want him gone. Every time I hear him speak, it's annoying me. And when he starts kind of coming out with liners like the PSG one, that's a manager that has no argument left. You know, he's into the realms of delusion at this point with some of the nonsense he's come out with. But I'll always want us to win. Always. Just remember, we're sixth in the Premier League at the minute, folks. Sixth. Top five probably get you Champions League for next season, but we're sixth with Newcastle and Man City to come. So 2 difficult games. Qarabag on the attack. Ball in. Alisson saves it. Cleared away by Cody Gakpo. Ekitike. Our transition hasn't been great. And our final... Oh, no, again, like that. So many times recently we've gotten into these positions where we've been counter-attacking and the ball just isn't right. It's either overhit, underhit, or the wrong decisions made. But that was another instance where Mohamed Salah had a chance on a counter to play in a Liverpool player and he's overhit it. Virgil having a little shake of the head there. I think a bit of a mix-up between him and Alisson, but Alisson came away with the ball anyway. 34 minutes on the clock. Liverpool 2-0 up. Alexis McAllister and Florian Wirtz with the 2 goals for the Reds. Lads, can I ask you a question in the chat? Do we feel like now this is Salah's level? Like, this is the new norm, is what I'm trying to ask, because he looks so far removed from the player we know he's capable of being. And I wondered, you know, at the start of the season, was there changes or whatever? But he just doesn't seem himself. And it's not from a lack of effort, because the man's putting in the effort. Just doesn't feel like the same machine or the same assuredness is there. Robbo with a strike. Goes over the bar, goal kick. Unlucky. Yeah, I just want, like... It's been a few games back again, and he just hasn't looked like himself, and his passing isn't what it should be, and his finishing certainly hasn't been what it should be. So when he signed that 2-year contract, I genuinely believe that the intention from everybody was to see it out. But you'd have to ask now, like, will there be a proper conversation in the summer? Will the club maybe try to nudge him towards a move to Saudi or a sale? Because, you know, if you're going to be putting up 400 grand a week, you're going to need a bit more than we're seeing. Now, look, he's earned his contract, but his performances aren't what we'd hoped for. Qarabag now in possession. Just inside their own half, left-hand side. They've misplaced it. Ball to Salah now. Salah slips it inside the Szoboszlai. Strike from Dom. Keeper gets down and saves it. Tipsy Dipsy said when Macca scored the first goal, Slot was barking orders at him and he didn't look too happy with them. You can tell the players aren't happy with him. We've not played well tonight. Still, like, there's been chances where Qarabag have just played through us, and a higher quality team would have us in trouble. You know, I think the 2-0 scoreline flatters us somewhat, but I'll still take it. You know, like I said, the result is what matters tonight. Uh, 1-1 in the Napoli-Chelsea game. Vergara making it a level game there with a goal for Napoli. Gakpo now slips it into Salah. And Salah just fucking shits the bed again. And that was so lackadaisical and lazy from Mo. He was just dispossessed with no effort. No effort to try and get it. It was... who scored the second goal? It was Florian Wirtz, Scott. Florian Wirtz. And it was a lovely finish, mate. Really well taken goal from the edge of the box. Szoboszlai to McAllister. Salah. Back inside the Soboslai. His ball. Look at that. Simple ball. 5 fucking yards. And it's straight to a Qarabag player. Robertson. Wirtz. Back to Ekitike. Back to Wirtz. He tries to fight his way through. His shot's blocked. Qarabag look to play out. Liverpool have won it back with Soboslai. Strike. Deflection. And it flies out for a corner. Qarabag player still down injured. Corner to Liverpool. This game is almost like it's been played like a pre-season friendly or a testimonial at walking pace. Googs said, who scored for us? Maka with a header for the first one, mate, and Florian Wirtz with the second one. If we're being real, though, the final third pass in the entire team's been atrocious this season. Oh, totally agree. Totally agree with that, Kilo. And we're not, like, trying to just drill into Salah here. Like, I just brought the Salah thing up because I just don't think he's played very well since he's come back from the AFCON. But you are right, mate. In the final third, all around, it hasn't been good enough this season. And I'll read you out something again from that article from Laura Hunter on Sky at half time that kind of just talks about how blunt we are in the final third. Goal kick. Basically, this piece talks about our cut through being so slow and our counter attacking not being where it would be. And the most damning piece in the whole article for me was where she writes, failure to beat Newcastle at the weekend would represent Liverpool's worst start to a calendar year since 1954, the last year the team were relegated. That's how bad the league form is. I actually looked last night on LiveScore. If you put us on form, we are 17th in the last 5 games in the Premier League on form. 17th. With 4 points from 15 available. Qarabag moving into the right channel. 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. If you're joining us late, a little bit of bad injury news was Jeremy Frimpong went off injured after 3 minutes. Meaning that defensively on the right hand side at the minute we have Endo playing right back and Ryan Gravenberch right centre back. So that's that has more conundrums ahead for the manager for the weekend. Qarabag on the attack. They're dispossessed edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Soboslai brings it away for the Reds. Slips it into Wirtz. Wirtz switches the ball across to Andy Robertson. Ekitike. Oh, unlucky. Corner takes a little nick. Hugo cuts across the edge of the penalty area. Has a strike from the edge of the 18-yard box. Takes a nick off a Qarabag player and it goes behind for a Liverpool corner. But unlucky. Let's see. Yeah, it took quite a nick actually. Quite a big deflection. But it'll be a corner to the Reds on the near side. Right, Dom. Come on. Here comes the delivery. Ball in. Again, it's similar to the last delivery in a similar area. Oof. Another Liverpool corner. Gakpo has a strike. It takes a deflection and goes wide. It's another good delivery from Dom that's deep, kind of over the keeper's head. Keeper does come and get a hand on this one, but it seemed like he was going for a similar area there. And then the ball ricochets out to Cody Gakpo. His strike is deflected by a trailing defender's left leg behind for another Liverpool corner, this time on the far side where Salah will take it. 90 subscribers to go, folks, to get to the next 1,000. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. We're closing in on 371,000. Right, here comes the corner from Salah. Ball in. Keeper clears it at the near post. It wasn't a bad delivery, though. I just think we missed our near post man on the run. Ball back with Salah. Cuts inside. Puts in a cross. A great cross. Oh, how did that not go in? It was an absolutely lovely pick out from Mo. And Gakpo gets on the end of it with a header. Let's have a look from this angle. Oh, it's great from Mo. It's beautiful. It puts it on a sixpence. That should have been a goal. Yeah, Gakpo heads it, and then the keeper, making a bit of a starfish jump, gets a hand on it and puts it behind. But that really was a delicious ball from Mohamed Salah into Cody Gakpo. Give him his credit. It was a great ball. Referee then says free kick, foul from Virgil van Dijk from the corner, so it'll be a free kick to Qarabag inside their own penalty area. But yeah, can't give out about Mo in that scenario. That was a lovely ball he played into Gakpo. And Gakpo had his header on target and the keeper made a decent save. So should have been 3-0. Qarabag play around that initial Liverpool press. Now they have a bit of space. They move the ball central. Switch it out right side now quickly as Liverpool get bodies back. Napoli now 2-1 up against Chelsea. Rasmus Højlund makes it Napoli 2, Chelsea 1. They've come from a goal down to lead now, Napoli. Napoli needing a result, of course, to stay in the Champions League this season. Qarabag try a crossfield ball. Endo comes and puts it out on the far side for a throw-in. There's just no rhythm, Craig. I know, Paul, it's like I said, it's the opposition tonight are what's going to help us get the result because they're not great. But if this was a top tier side, like I said, we could have easily conceded a couple because we've been sloppy. And like you said, no rhythm, no, what's what I'm looking for? Aggression, again. 2 minutes of added on time at the end of the first half. We've had 30 seconds of it. Qarabag on the attack. Maka goes back to help out Endo, but again, they skip through challenges so easily. Fucking hell. Players skip through our defence way too easily. Initially a block in. Salah tries a ball to Ekitike. It's intercepted by the Qarabag defence, but it's back to Salah. Maka, he dwells on it too long. He has his pocket picked. Qarabag now on the attack. Move it into the right channel. Qarabag just knocking it around now. But 30 seconds to go in the first half. Reverse ball by Qarabag. Has Andy Robertson turning around to clear his lines, but it's straight to a Qarabag player. The amount of people I've seen in the comments say that the atmosphere is just completely flat at the game. Look at this again. It's like Keystone Cops defending. Honest to God, lads. You can tell this is a makeshift defence because there's no shape to it. It's all over the place. Qarabag are walking the ball through. Ref blows up for half time. Liverpool lead by 2-0. Maka turns around and complains. Nobody looks happy out there. The players don't look happy. There isn't one single smile from any of them out there. Even Maka's coming off looking like he's absolutely pissed off. And he should be buzzing. He scored. This just all doesn't feel right, lads. It just doesn't feel right. Gary Evans said, Craig, I'm fearful as the next two teams we face have fast, aggressive wingers. Yeah, and we've got Endo at right back tonight. Now, Jones could be back in maybe to give us a shout. But even at that, again, we're back to shoehorning players into position. Right, ladies and gentlemen, well, it is half-time. A quick reminder. Don't forget to enter our giveaway. Win a signed Steven Gerrard frame shirt completely free. Scan the QR code below or use the link in the description for further details. And if you'd like to get yourself 20% off any purchases from the Collector's Corner, use the code you'll see in a moment in the bottom corner of your screen. Anfield Agenda 1, that will get you there. That black image in the bottom corner, Anfield Agenda 1, that will get you 20% off for anything you would like from the Collector's Corner right throughout the year. And we'll be giving away an item every month this season. All you have to do is be signed up to the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp, and the information is in there. And thank you once again to our friends at the Collector's Corner for their generosity. Right, let me run you through the halftime scores, ladies and gents, from the Champions League games, because we know it is a very important night tonight in the Champions League. So all the games are on. It is Monaco 0, Juventus 0 at halftime there. Ajax 0, Olympiacos 0. Arsenal 3, Almaty 1. Athletic Club Bilbao 2, Sporting Lisbon 1. Atletico Madrid 1, Bodo Glimt 1. Barcelona are losing 1-0 at home to FC Copenhagen at halftime. It's Bayer Leverkusen 2, Villarreal 0. Benfica 1, Real Madrid 1. They're still in stoppage time there at the end of the first half. Borussia Dortmund 0, Inter Milan 0. Club Brugge 2, Olympique Marseille 0. Eintracht Frankfurt 0, Spurs 0. Liverpool obviously 2-0 up over Qarabag. Manchester City 2, Galatasaray 0. Napoli 2, Chelsea 1. Napoli coming from a goal behind there to lead. PSV Eindhoven 0, Bayern Munich 0. Pafos FC 1, Slavia Prague 1. Paris Saint-Germain 1, Newcastle 1. And Union Saint-Gilloise 0, Atalanta 0. Who got the goal? Willock with a late equaliser at the end of the first half there for Newcastle against Paris Saint-Germain. Right, Carbon said, I do agree with you 100% the slot needs to go. I also think we need to get our academy players more involved with the senior team, being that Tyler Morton is balling for Lyon and couldn't find a star. Exactly, mate, we're on the same page on that. And there was a piece, I think it was Ben Spochak's piece for Anfield Watch, that said that they put on basically an expo of the academy players. They made sure that they were training at the same side alongside the first teamers, and Arne Slot couldn't even be bothered his arse, according to that report, to go and look at the talent that they put on display for the manager. Some of the other coaches did go, yes, but Arne, according to Bence's piece, didn't even go down to have a look at the academy players. Yes, we're winning. Yeah, I feel strangely bored, said that Anglo-Saxon bloke. Do you want me to tell you why? It's really simple and blunt. Because we're mentally checked out, mate. That's why. So we're winning and yet you feel bored. Because we're mentally checked out. And you're not on your own. There's a couple of things. Tonight it's Qarabag. It's not the sexiest of European ties. So that has to come into the consideration. The fact that it seems flat inside Anfield probably isn't helping. But yeah, look, we feel mentally checked out as fans. Because this manager isn't, or the performances, even the players' body language isn't great. Like, look at some of the body language of the players in that first half. Maka coming off at halftime looking annoyed. Van Dijk shrugging his shoulders and shaking his head after miscommunication with Alisson. It just doesn't look like everybody's on the same page. With another defender injured, if we don't sign anybody this January, my anger will pause and Slot and move to Hughes. No manager can succeed with what we have. So, can I address that a little bit, Adam? Whilst I agree, again, context. Not building out the squad deep enough in the first place increases the chances of injury because players are having to be either brought back too quickly or played too much. Now, at right back, I think we have to take stock at right back. Because let's be really honest about this. I love Bradley, love Frimpong. But neither of them seemingly are able to stay fit. And that's no good. No good for a coach, any coach. Or no good for continuity. You need a settled backline where possible. And we haven't had that. And some of that has been bad luck with injuries. And particularly with the Bradley and Frimpong. Because we can't sit here and say they've been overplayed. Because they haven't. So that is either bad luck or injury-prone players. So I'll give on that every sympathy. But then you're looking at the centre-back situation. And we knew that that was low coming into the window. And yet they still didn't act. They sat back and watched Mark A go. Still didn't act. Now it's gotten worse again today. You know, Canade, obviously due to family bereavement, isn't available. Gomez isn't available with the hip concern. So we have one senior centre-back. Our defensive midfielder playing centre-back. Our right-back's now gone off injured. So our other defensive midfielder's playing right-back. This defence will be ripped apart by a Premier League side because it's so disjointed and it's so not used to playing with each other. It's just not like a unit. It looks like a made-up defence that had to be hurried together at the last minute, which it is. So when Arne Slot did the 2 titles in 35 years gimmick to fit his agenda, he was 100% done for me, said Marcus. That wasn't a great one at all, mate. Because like he said, on the pitch when he won the trophy, and he was in his Liverpool Champions Trophy, it was, let's not talk about it as that. Let's talk about it as 2 titles in 5 years. But like you've said, when it suited his narrative to go negative, that's exactly what he did. But again, I'm going to reiterate, he knows he's fucked. He said it's going to be really difficult to quiet the outside noise when the position we're in. Even if we win a few games, every loss, the noise will come back. It's impossible to shut down the noise at a club like this if you're not competing to win the league. And again, this isn't going to be a popular opinion, but the reason we won the league last season is because we played Paris Saint-Germain. We had a week to prepare for league games after going out of the Champions League. So anybody that is slot in or has sympathy for the manager, this man is telling you the reason you won the league is because we got beaten by Paris Saint-Germain. And I'm not misquoting him. They're his words. Now, the fact we were 15 points clear at that point and needed 7 points from the last 10 games, or 7 points from 30, should tell you all you need to know. That he thinks that is why we won the league. Even though we were 15 points clear. He is a fucking deluded clown at this point. And again, for the man that was speaking about respect, I get your point, but this lad he's lost it. Chad said, I don't think it'll be an issue tonight, but here we are again going 2-0 up and not being able to put in the nail with a third, playing well though. I don't think we are playing well, Chad. I just think the opposition aren't great and they've gifted us opportunities at times as well. It's good scoring a goal from a set piece. I'm happy with that one. That was nice to see. And Vert's finish was lovely. But how many times have Qarabag turned the ball over deep inside their own half with a misplaced pass or slipping? And then look at how easy it is for them to just get past Maka and that's it, midfield open wide up. The amount of time and space they've had in our half and in and around our penalty area is alarmingly worrying. The fact that they're just unable to finish or really create that last chance has got us through that. We've been messy again. Now, I can understand it being messy at the back with the changes that he's had to make. But, you know, it is what it is. This is where we're at now. January or the summer, when do you think Salah's sold? My guess would be in the summer. He's not going this month. There's no way he's going this month. Because this would just be the height of stupidity. Because we're already short. So to shorten ourselves even more, that would just be madness. In the summer, perhaps. Yeah. We lose the Champions League next round and get in the Premier League again. Look, who knows if we get in the next round. We'll find that out. But my concern is towards next season's Champions League now. Because, you know, we want to make sure that we are in it. And we're 6th at the minute. And what really frightens me, excuse me, is the sheer gap to 3rd now. Where we have 10 points between us and Aston Villa in 3rd. So we've very little wiggle room. We're going to be lucky that the Premier League sides will probably get a 5th Champions League spot. So that'll give us a little bit more wiggle room. But we're in a street fight now with Chelsea, Manchester United, Newcastle, and a couple of other clubs for 2 spots. So, I don't know. Like I said, to me, keeping this man in charge isn't going to increase those chances of turning around the league form. I think it will decrease it. And like I said, happy we're winning tonight, but that body language out there on the pitch, it's not filling me full of confidence. Newcastle is going to dismantle us. Look, Newcastle always raise their game against us. There's a little bit of edge there at the minute, obviously, because of the Isak situation. They got beaten at home by Villa, so their manager's going to want a response from them in the league. And it's going to be a tough game at the best of times. So, even with everybody fit available and us playing to our best, it's always a tough game against Newcastle. So, let's see. You hope our levels are increased at the weekend. You hope that they get up for the game. After that, we've got Manchester City as well in the league. So we can't afford any more slip-ups in the Prem. It's as simple as that. One sec. And right, so a poll in the chat, because we've got 6,000 odd people in the chat now, over 6,500. When should Slot go? Now, end of the season, or he should be kept? Which one of those 3? And we'll see where people's heads are at. So when should Slot go? Now, end of the season, or he should be kept? Joe, how are we? Joker Gaming said Klopp finished 8th and 5th. So much moaning. Right. And what's your point? Genuinely, what's your point? He had 10 years worth of work at the football club. 3 European finals. A Premier League. League Cups. FA Cups. Club World Cup. Super Cup. Progression year on year. Getting better. If you're trying to compare Arne to Jurgen, mate, that's a stretch. And like I said, if you think there's so much moaning, nobody's forcing you to be here, bro. If this isn't the right environment for you at the minute, no problem, no offence taken. But Klopp finishing 8th and 5th, like I said, he didn't get given a team like Arne Slot did. Do you want to go back and look at the team that Klopp had to rebuild from that point to when he left? And every year we've seen progression. And at least we liked what we've seen on the pitch, and we recognise the players. And we recognise the effort put in by them, and the work rate put in by them, and the fight put in by them, and the manager the same. I don't know. I'm trying to be respectful to people who have a different opinion, because I get it. You might not want the manager to be sacked. Fair enough. I'm just not going to stop until he is, because it's serious for me at this point, and there's already enough people trying to paper over the cracks. I'm going to be the voice of, what would I say I'm the voice of? I'm going to be the critique that Liverpool don't have, and I'm going to constantly call the manager out until it improves or he's gone. And it will be he's gone. But there's about 7 or 8 people tonight. Yeah. What's this? His point is you judge Slot over 2 seasons with is mental. Why, why do I judge Slot over 2 seasons? He's gone backwards from spending so much money. How is that misjudging him? We're about to get underway for the second half. 1 sec. Pulse Champ, I'll get to your super chat in a second, my friend. About to get underway now, second half. 1 sec, just ref waiting for the go ahead. Right. I'm running away for the second half, and Qarabag launch it out right hand side. Pulse Champ, hi Craig, hope you're well. Hope all's well with you and the family. Going through a tough time after losing a loved one yesterday. Just want to say I've really enjoyed the stream tonight. Thank you up the Reds. I'm so sorry, mate, on your bereavement. Sending you love. Seems to be this time of the year, man, isn't it? You know, the dark winter nights as well. There's been so many people I've heard who've lost a loved one recently, and yeah, sending you love, my man. Mate, I wish I had his money. I keep saying this about it. Dara O'Brien grew up about 5 miles up the road from me. He's from Bray and I'm from Shankill. And I'm South Dublin. He's County Wicklow at that point. But God, I wish I had his. I wish I had his humour for a start because I think he's hilarious. But yeah, I don't have no mock the week money. I can promise you that. Rip the band-aid off, as my mother used to say. Said no lie, Eli. Well, that poll is running, and everybody has a chance to have their say. We're saying when should Slot go? Now, end of season, or he should be kept. I'll let it go a few minutes more, so everybody can have their say. Right, I'll sync up for everybody at 47 minutes. The Reds on the attack now with Endo, right-hand side. Out to Salah. Salah cuts inside. Bit of a heavy touch, but manages to keep possession. Little 1-2, ball back to Maka. Maka works it out left side to Robbo. Robbo to Cody. Cody zips inside, ball in, headed away by the Qarabag defence. Second ball though. Qarabag hook it away. Right, folks, we are now coming up to 47 minutes. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Salah missed a very good chance in those 10 seconds, by the way. Got into the penalty area. Right hand side, opens up his body onto his left foot and fires the ball straight at the defender standing in front of him. So that's another one blocked. I'm also a Rangers fan, and Slot has reminded me of Russell Martin out of his depth, said Deister, excuse me, bro. Right, Salah now. Gets to the edge of the penalty area, stumbles over, referee says free kick right on the edge of the penalty area to Liverpool. Let's have a look at it. Salah's dribbling in. Yeah, there's no denying that. Absolutely trod on his left foot. Good spot by the referee. Good spot, yeah. No doubt about that. Salah was fouled. So it'll be a free kick to Liverpool. Probably, it is more suited to a left foot, so it might be worth Mo having a crack, but we know how how prolific, Dom has been from free kicks lately, so it'll take a lot of convincing to get Dom off this one, but it is a free kick to the Reds in a very, very good position. If we win the Champions League, what happened to Arna? If we win, there's so many hypotheticals there, bro. Well, the odds of us winning it was about 7.5% last time I checked, according to Opta. And I'm not going to put the future of the club on a 7.5% chance if. So, yeah. There's a chance I wake up 12 stone tomorrow, but, you know, the odds are I'm still going to wake up and be a big fat mess, so. But there's too many ifs there. Look what you're seeing in front of your eyes. This is what you're seeing. It's not a team that's going to be winning the Champions League, respectfully. So, they really are, Salah and Szoboszlai, trying to make sure every player from Qarabag is at least the minimal distance away. And of course, Liverpool players have to be a metre away from the wall as well. Salah and Dom standing over it. We know last time Salah reversed it back to Dom, who had a crack. Let's see what happens this time. Here we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well done. 3-0. Exactly the same, but in the reverse. This time it's Dominic Szoboszlai who rolls it back to Mohamed Salah on the left foot. Mohamed Salah curls a beauty into the corner. 3-0. Good strike, Mo. Well done. It's like a reverse of the free kick from the other day. Well done, Mo. Well done, Dom. Well done, boys. Lovely. Well done. Great finish, Mo. Delighted. That's what we want. That's what we want. So he rolls it back. Salah curler, left foot, belter. Well done. Yeah, nice finish. Well done, Mo. Yeah, sets it out. Curls it in. Well done, Mo. Keeper no chance. Rolfie said, just had a thought that worries me. Slot seems like a puppet type of manager. Alonso and Enrique does not. Can a real top manager work under Hughes and Edwards? You're not the first one to bring that up, my man. And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know, but it is it's something that I've discussed myself with a couple of people in the last few days. But yeah, delighted for Mo there, lads. I really am. Because he hasn't had his shooting boots on with him, but he absolutely buried that one. That was a confidently struck ball, and well done to Dom as well. On at least we know now we've got danger from both sides of free kicks. We've been absolutely banging in the free kick goals recently. What's that, our third one in recent memory? So yeah, well in the boys on the free kicks. Finn Balor is from Bray, County Wicklow. I'd heard that actually. Yeah, there's a few famous people that have been from Bray. The guy that ended up playing cricket for England, Ed Joyce, was that his name? I believe he was from Bray as well, if I'm not mistaken. Pulse Champ said, thank you so much, Craig. Lots of love back to you as well. Can always count on the streams to give me back into spirit. Again, though, mate, really sorry on the loss of your loved one. Salah now knocks it back to Wirtz. Back to Salah, Ekitike, Qarabag hook it away. Look, you'd hope now in the next 10 minutes that you see Rio Ngamoa and Trey Leone or some of the younger players getting minutes off the bench. Because the game has got to the point now where you're 3-0 up and the manager should be looking towards the Newcastle game, especially after the injury to Frimpong. Szoboszlai. Out to Robbo. Gakpo. Gakpo tries a little 1-2 at Maka, but it's intercepted. So yeah, hopefully we see the manager look to the bench and give some of those younger players a run out now. The game should be past Qarabag, so should be no jeopardy left to 3-0. Hope you and the family are well, Craig. As a Scotsman, I hope Robbo doesn't go. Always hear how good a character he is in the dressing room. That's vital to the team. Robbie, I absolutely love Andy Robertson, mate. And I'll be fuming if he's gone. Look, he's every right to make his own decision on his career at the end of the season. But, you know, from our perspective, sometimes we do need to be a little bit selfish. And bringing in Costas and Chance. Oh, cleared away, unlucky. Bringing in Costas back to get rid of Robbo isn't an upgrade in my opinion. You could make an argument now, though, that we've got no right back. Play Robbo or Costas at right back the way things are going. Bring back Costas because we need fullbacks. Maybe switch them over. Play one of them on their non-natural side. Ekitike with a header there that just drifts wide and another half chance for the Reds. Ball in from Andy Robertson. Ekitike pulls away, just mistimes the jump and heads the ball high and wide. Seamus the wrestler is from Cabra, Dublin. I think he's from Cabra. I know he's from Dublin anyway, Sean. I'm not sure exactly what part of Dublin he's from. So let's see if the manager does look to the bench. Let me quickly remind you of who is on the Liverpool bench tonight. Right, where is the bench? Where is the bench? On the Liverpool bench tonight, we have Kirkes, Chiesa, Leone, Nalo, Morrison, and Ngamoa. So surely you're going to get to see a bit of a rest here for some of the boys. Gakpo. Chance, keeper makes a save, Liverpool corner. It's been all Liverpool start of the second half, to be fair. Just chance after chance after chance. Craig, on that Hughes and Edwards question, do you think Jurgen left because of those two idiots? Sorry for calling human being idiots. Well, no, because Hughes wasn't here, to be fair. But I do think that, look, it's not a secret that there was seemingly a power struggle between Edwards and Klopp, or some disagreements, or different trains of thought, or, I don't think it's an accident that one's here and the other isn't. But on the Hughes thing, he wasn't here. It was Ward, I think, at the last time. Rick Kipp said, "Evening, Craig. I remember highlighting this right back situation right at the end of the live show. They're both injury prone, and now we look stupid." Looking at your picture, I remember this conversation now, mate. Sorry, I can see your image of the Hot Water Comedy Club behind you. I think I remember this conversation with you, and well, look, it's fair to say you weren't wrong, were you? It's unfortunate that we are in this situation. And we don't know how... Oh, go on, Hugo. Go on, make it 4. Yes, Hugo. Beautiful. Oh, Hugo Ekitike. Oh. Go on, Hugo. Lovely finish. Great goal. Well done. He deserves a goal tonight as well. He's worked hard, Hugo. That's 4-0 to the Reds. Surely now he can make those changes and look to the weekend. Lovely goal. Well done, Hugo. Well done. So, Liverpool counter-attack. Virgil plays the ball up. Hugo gets a touch before the defender, then knocks it past the next defender. Keeps going, edge of the box, keeper comes out, slots it past them. That all came. Virgil played a long ball up, and Hugo, it's all him from there. 2 lovely touches past the defenders, keeps going, keeper comes out, and he finishes it. That is a goal all in the making of Hugo Ekitike. Well done. Verge with the clearance in his direction, but after that, it was all down to Hugo, and it was a wonderful bit of centre-forward play and a great finish. So now, there should be absolutely no doubt now that he can give some lads a rest. Checking in from Texas, became a Liverpool fan in the summer. What players do you think we need this summer, and do you think Canada will be on the roster for the weekend? I'm not really sure, bro, what the situation is with Ibu, obviously, with it being, the passing of his father. You give the guy as long as he needs, quite frankly, in my opinion. I know we can be selfish at times around football, but it's a man's family. So, I'm sure the club will give him all the time until he feels he's ready to come back in. So I don't know. Will he be in for the weekend? I'd say maybe. I think there's a good chance. But there's still no clarity on the Gomez situation either, which is worrying, because we don't really know how bad that situation with Joe is either. Casper said, "Please tell me Slot still goes." Oh, look, like I said, for me, mate, before this game, I said that we could win 15-0 and it wouldn't change anything because we're playing a poor team. Virgil plays the ball into Robertson. Robertson back to Wirtz. Wirtz, his strike's deflected and goes behind. If I'm honestly, at this point now, Arna needs to get some of these lads off. Because any player's legs that can be saved need to be saved with the injuries that we do have and the lack of options. So, not much longer, please, Arna. Start getting some of these lads off and getting them a rest. And think of the Newcastle on Saturday. Whitehammer said, any chance of making a few subs? Jesus, rest. I know. That's the part that's starting to frustrate me now, mate. Just get the players off now, please. No more risk. Soboslai with the corner. Ball headed in. Blocked off by a Qarabag player. Recycled by Endo. Back out to Dom. Dom puts in another cross. Goes all the way across. And Gakpo slices his shot, but he was offside. So free kick Qarabag. Endo doing his best Milner impression here, said Sonder. I've seen enough. Slot in. Good man. As I said, he could win this game 15-0 for me. It wouldn't change a damn thing. Real Madrid are 3-1 down. Ooh, ouch. Let me quickly run you through those scores, folks. Well done. Endo winning the ball back high up the pitch there. Hang on to Salah. Wirtz. His ball back is blocked off. Wirtz wins it back though. Soboslai. Ekitike. Yes, there we go. Maka gets another. It's a lovely bit of football. Maka dribbles through. Keeper plays it off Maka. Rebounds straight back to Maka. And he then slots it into the goals. Liverpool 5, Qarabag 0. Well done for Maka. Defo changes now, please, Arna. Yes, and thank you. Right, so the latest in the Champions League games, folks, is as follows. It's Monaco 0, Juventus 0, Ajax 0, Olympiacos 1, Arsenal still 3-1 up against Karat Almaty. Athletic Club 2, Sporting 1, Atletico Madrid 1, Bodo Glimt 2, Barcelona 2, Copenhagen 1, Bayer Leverkusen 3, Villarreal 0, Benfica 3, Real Madrid 1, whooping. Dortmund 0, Inter 0, Brugge 2, Marseille 0, Eintracht Frankfurt 0, Spurs 1, Liverpool 5, Qarabag 0, Man City 2, Galatasaray 0, Napoli still 2-1 up against Chelsea, PSV Eindhoven 0, Bayern Munich 1, Paphos FC 2, Slavia Prague 1, PSG 1, Newcastle 1, and Union Saint-Gilloise 0, Atalanta 0. So they are your latest scores. And yeah, well done, Maka. 5-0, nothing wrong with that. Again, though, please make some changes, Arna. Get these boys off. Get Rio on there. Get Leone on there. Get anybody you can on there. Get some of these lads a rest. Chelsea just scored 2-2. Said James, thank you, mate. Appreciate that update. Otherwise, not a great night for the Madrid clubs, is it? Maybe Madrid are going to set a Guinness Book of Records. Maybe they're going to have to sack the most managers in the history of one season. Many managers can they possibly go through in a year? So João Pedro with that goal for Chelsea against Napoli to make it 2-2. Ekitike. His reverse ball comes off a Qarabag player. And again, it goes behind for another Liverpool corner. Please, Arna, make some changes, man. Please get some of these lads rested. Craig, you reckon Canade's back on Saturday? Not sure. I hope so. But honestly, I'm very understanding of that situation. The man's lost his father. So for me, you know, however long he needs. You know, the human side of this can't be escaped either. Right, Robbo to take the corner for Liverpool on the far side. Cross in, flicked on. Second ball breaks. Oh, side footer from Verge. Can't keep it down, it goes over. Goal kick. Yeah, now say it like you believe it. Because you don't. Let's check the poll. So when should he be fired? 68% of nearly 5,000 people say now. Still. End of season 21%. He should be kept 11%. So as you can see, still, most people want him gone, either now or at the end of the season. Right, where was I anyway? I was skipping past the comment. Let me scroll back. Gakpo playing with his clown shoes, oversized shoes on. Salah dribbles like a Sunday League player. Where is my Rio and Gakpo out? Love you, Craig. Arnott slot out now. Look, mate, I just want them on for, well, two reasons. One, it gives the lads a rest, which we're going to need. So why not get as many of them off as he can now, not risk more injuries. And I don't, look, I'm happy we're winning 5-0. It's exactly what we should be doing against Qarabag, and we are. So all good. But yeah, I just think he should start resting players up. And these are the times where we can give the younger players minutes and experience. And every minute is valuable. So again, I would just say I hope he makes changes soon. Mr. Acentino said he won't make the changes and then he'll blame this game or this tie for the loss of the weekend. How much of this coach do we need to see? Oh, it's nearly 7 there, or 6, excuse me, nearly 6. Another misplaced or miskicked ball from Ekatike sees it square him away. And look, he just, Arna, make the changes, bro. Epic performance against Qarabag. Where are you all slot haters now? Give him a new contract ASAP, said the real Johnny Sins hates. I'm still here, mate. And I still want him gone now. Here we go. Here they are. Rio Engamoa and Trey Neoni coming on. Good. Florian Wirtz, one of the players coming off, and Hugo Ekatike. Good. Sensible. Now, let's enjoy a few minutes for these young lads as well. See how they get on. Rio Engamoa and Trey Morris Neoni coming on. Hugo Ekatike and Florian Wirtz coming off. Let's see. Go on, enjoy yourselves, lads. Express yourselves out there. Qarabag about to make 3 changes themselves. Folks, we're 52 subscribers away from 371,000. If you can, please do hit that subscribe button for me. Really does mean a lot. My mate sent me a joke saying, confirm Manchester United lineup that will watch the Champions League games tonight. Good man, Jimbo. Good man. I love it, Jimbo. I love it. Keep them type of United piss take comments coming. So now, can we get Fede on as well, Arna? Or is he still injured? I don't know. Maybe he's protecting him from that niggle that he felt. I don't know. But yeah. Delighted to see Rio and Trey on anyway. Endo to Neoni. Neoni to Verge. Verge out left side to Robbo. Fede is on the bench for those asking. Have you guys noticed that I'm sticking to my New Year's resolution and I'm not jumping on the deleted comments from people trying to bait me? I promised you in New Year's that I wouldn't, and I'm a man of my word. Even though I did spot that last comment from Ben before it was deleted, but I'm not gonna jump on it because, you know, Ben's just Craig curious. It's okay, Ben. You're not the first, mate. You won't be the last. And a 5-0 win against Qarabag does fuck all, mate. But try harder next time, Ben. You nearly did it. Endo. 3-1 Barca now. Chatter saying thank you for the update. 3-2 Benfica. Keane said in the game against Real Madrid. Thank you for the updates, guys, on the other scores. Do appreciate it. Rio now. Turning his man inside out. Go on, Rio. Nice ball into Gakpo as well. Back to Rio. Neoni. To Cody Gakpo. Rio. Trey Neoni. Back to Dom. Gakpo. He's brushed off the ball, but the referee says free kick, and now he gets the yellow card out for a little bit of a lip from the Qarabag player. Dom licking his lips at this one. He was body checked, Cody Gakpo. Referee was right to give the free kick. And yeah, good situation this for Dom. He'll be licking his lips at the thoughts of this one. Who's going to roll it back to him though? Is Salah going to repay the favour? If you're joining us late, by the way, in the first or in the second half, excuse me, Dominic Szoboszlai repaid the favour for Mohamed Salah rolling the ball back to him from a free kick which Salah buried. So let's see what happens here. Cody Gakpo standing over it. Here, somebody move Cody out of the way, will you? Huh, so it's not going to be Dom anyway. Dom stepped away from it, so it's Salah and Gakpo over it. Gakpo lost or something? Right, here we go. It's about 25 yards out. Gakpo takes a little nick off the wall, I think, on the way through. Goes behind for a corner. Cody seems a little bit frustrated. It was a well-struck free from Cody, to be fair. Did take a nick off the wall. I think the keeper probably would have had it covered because there wasn't a whole lot of pace on it, but it is a Liverpool corner. 35 subscribers to go, folks. Do hit that button. Appreciate your support immensely. Really, really do. Don't forget about our giveaway as well. If you haven't entered into that yet, I'll bring it up on screen for you in a moment. But if you'd like to get yourself 20% off anything from the Collector's Corner, then use the Anfield Agenda 1 discount code in the bottom corner of the screen. Oof! Virgil header. I think he may have been put off. The defender jumped ahead of him, but the defender missed the ball. It then comes through to Virgil. And yeah, he just can't time the header right, and it goes 3 or 4 yards wide. But don't forget, we are doing this giveaway where you can win a signed Steven Gerrard frame shirt completely free. Scan the QR code or use the link in the description for further details, and we'll be giving away an item every single month. Free, with thanks to our friends from the Collector's Corner. Nallo getting warmed up, so quickly somebody got on the bet for the red card. Jokes. But yes, Nallo is getting warmed up and ready to come on. Sorry, I have to fart, so I'm going to mute the mic. Didn't want you to have to hear that one. But I'm an honest man. Fede! There you go. Fede Chiesa coming on as well as Nallo. We love that. Almost guarantee Slot's watching PSG on his phone, said Adam. No, he's not. No, Adam, I can tell you categorically he's not watching PSG on his phone, mate, because he doesn't have an erection. Do you know what I mean? I can tell. Small details, bro. Small details. If he's watching them on his phone, he'd have a chubby. Rio. Go on, Rio. Go on. Little ball to Maka. Maka's on a hat-trick, let's not forget, by the way, folks. Another corner to Liverpool. Ooh. Here comes the change. It is Cody Gakpo coming off to be replaced by Federico Chiesa. Well done, Cody. And it's Dominic Szoboszlai who's coming off to be replaced by Nallo. Again, sensible changes from the manager, giving these lads a rest. I'm not sure, Joe, what you meant, bro. Sorry, man. I'm not really sure. The eye contact was worse than hearing it, said Connor. Oh yeah, I needed you to know, mate. I needed you to know. The eye contact was intentional. Ooh, unlucky. Virgil header at the keeper. 15 to go. Pierce the cream over Sloth post match now. Those with short memories, Casper. The old typewriter would be on overtime now. Those with short memories. Who wrote Anna off? Won't be speaking much now. Look, tonight's a good night. We just take the win, accept it, enjoy it. You know, tonight's a pressure-free night that we've went out and did what we're supposed to do. So, the manager's made his changes. Job done, fair play. Tonight, the only downside has been, unfortunately, that injury to Jeremy Frimpong. But apart from that, the night has gone exactly as you'd hoped. So, well done to everybody. But let's not lose the run of ourselves again. This is a game we should be winning easily, and bigger tests lie ahead. Endo, he's dispossessed. What's the over-under on Nello getting a red? I don't know. Look, I just hope the young lad can have a few minutes out there and get some minutes under his belt. He's been so unlucky, young Nello, with the Reds and that. So yeah, hopefully he can get a few good minutes under his belt there tonight. My statement are being blocked. Why? Again, Joe, no idea what you're talking about. What statement? I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't know what you mean by blocked. Do you think I'm not blocking anything here, mate? So I haven't really, and I'm not trying to be facetious, I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. Like, unless you're using a word that's on the banned list or something, Joe, that's all I can think of. But I promise you, mate, I'm not banning anything that you're right, nor are the mods that I'm aware of. So I really don't know, mate, what the situation is for you, or what your what the issue is. Right, 13 to go. But you do realise you just put through 2 comments there and there was no issue. So whatever it was, there's no difference between a super chat being allowed or a normal chat, mate. A comment is a comment. So whatever it was, I can only assume maybe it was a word that was on the ban list or something, because it was certainly not actively blocking you or anything like that, mate. Is Keep Slot on the banned list? Well, you just wrote it, so you've answered your own question. No, Keep Slot in. None of that type of stuff's on the banned list, lads. We're not petty, like. PSV won, Bayern Munich won. Interesting. I had Slot into the ban list. No, people are absolutely allowed to have their thoughts on the manager in that sense. Liverpool are now third, by the way, in the Champions League group stage as things sit. It still won't make any difference. It's first or second. That's the ones you want, really. But still, finishing the top 8 is, you know, it's a good night. It's good. It's exactly as we would have wanted. And yeah, job's been done. So tonight, like I said, tonight the only downside of it is the injury to Frimpong, unfortunately, and hopefully we get some good news on that. Brian said, I'm hurt. You don't like my chant, Levido, all. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Brunner. Did I not get back to you on that one, mate? Sorry. I remember you sent it to me the other day. It's been a manic few days, bro. Apologies on the chant. I wish I had, if I had the sway of the cop, Brian, to be able to get songs on the cop, there'd be a few of my own I wouldn't have minded over the years. But yeah, sorry, man. I didn't get back to you on that one. That's my bad. But as always, bro, thank you for coming in. So, there's a super chat there that I just quite carte blanche refusing to read out because it's just stupid. And again, I'll bring it up on screen, but I'm not reading it out. $10 to go. And by the way, we couldn't do that because we don't have enough gravy in Liverpool to keep them happy. So, Paul Greaves, of course you can have a shout out, bro. How are we, Paul? Thank you for dropping in. Appreciate you. Yeah, hope you're well, and thank you for dropping in, my man. Much love to my friend Paul Greaves in the chat. Do you know what? The Qarabag fans have showed up in their numbers and supported their team, and they should be really proud. You know what they've done, Qarabag, for Azerbaijani football is tremendous. I often dream about maybe imagine ever seeing a League of Ireland club in the group stage of the league format of the Champions League. Great result, but off this game and the team available, the team will win easily. Look, tonight's what we should have done. You know, we're winning a game we should be winning, and like I said before the game, winning a 15-0 wasn't going to change anything for me because it's a game that we should be winning by these type of scorelines. So I'm happy the young lads are getting some minutes. Rio's just gone a little bit too trick oriented there. But the only downside for tonight, like I've said, is that injury to Jeremy Frimpong, which leaves us really short going forward at right back. Carbon said, "Hi Craig. Yes, sometimes I think YouTube itself be stopping messages from going through. Even sometimes on the super chat, it won't let you post. Well, like I said, these are things in real time that we don't control. Like we do have a list of banned words, but those words would be offensive words that were aimed at like me or names that we don't want brought up in the chat from people we've fallen out with or something like. There wouldn't be things like opinions, let's say. I encourage people to share their views, whether we agree or not. You know, once like yourself, mate, and you've been always respectful. We disagree, but we can have a chat about it. That's all good. So any words that are on the banned list, yeah, like I said, they are there. But sometimes maybe YouTube's own algorithms are blocking stuff. I don't know. I can only apologize if there are some sentences people are trying to get through that aren't getting through. But certainly, like I said, it isn't anything we're actively doing to try to suppress an opinion or anything like that. I want Macca on a hat trick, by the way. Still, Macca's on a hat trick. I have this weird buzz tonight where I want Macca to get that hat trick. Great result, but sees the media kiss lots arse. I don't think it will, to be fair. Like, people know this is a game you should be winning easily. But if you look at it, let's talk about this from a proactive sense, like from a good news perspective. Coming to this game tonight, what do you want? You want to win the game and make substitutions early, and you want to rest up players. He did that, got the chance to do that. The players have done that. That's good. They now get to get a little bit more rest in their legs before Newcastle on Saturday. That's what we wanted to happen tonight, and that's what's happened. So, in that point of view, it's been a good night. As long as there's no more injuries picked up, of course. But again, this has gone exactly how you would have wanted it to go tonight, apart from the injury. Oh, Rio. Oh, Rio. Back. I just wouldn't drop from unlucky. I thought the young man was going to get a goal there. Unlucky Rio. Chelsea have gone 3-2 up now over Napoli. João Pedro. I've made it 3-2 to Chelsea, so that means Napoli going out, I think, of the Champions League, are they? Craig, how do you think we get on against Newcastle on Saturday, said Phil. I think we win by 1 goal or it's a score draw, Phil. So like my head's kind of 3-3 or 2-1 to us, something like that. I feel like this could be one of those mad Liverpool Newcastle games where it ends up 3-3 or something. But I think again, like many have pointed out tonight, some of these flaws will be exposed defensively because we just don't have the bodies now. We don't have the personnel to play the way we'd want to play. You know, look at the right side of the defence as of now. We've got young Nallo there, who's come in for Gravenberch, and then we've got Endo playing right back. Yes, yes, Callie, because 5-0's going to silence me. Do I sound fucking silent, princess? Does it sound like just because you write something doesn't make it happen? 5-0 ain't going to silence me, but I will take your £2, bro. So thanks for that. But you've about as much chance of silencing me as I do of waking up like Dirk Diggler. But there again, thanks for the money. Another corner to the Reds. Slot Hughes and Edwards, incompetent, splitting squad into groups, unfit, no cover, and the team plays like it, said Joe Cavalier. Thank you, Joe. Corner in, Endo. Oof. Endo header saved by the keeper. Oh, sorry. I've been silenced. Oh, sorry. Did you think I was on mute? No, I've just been silenced because we're 5-0 up, remember? I'm just silenced. He told me a minute ago. I'm silenced, so, you know, I have to do what I'm told. I was wondering how long I was going to get away with that one for. Come on. There was even sounds on the clap and I was whispering. I was making mistakes there, lads. Come on. It was there. Apologies. I just, you know, a little bit of fun. A little bit of fun. 90 seconds to go. It is intriguing. Let's see who's in and out as we stand of the top 8 spots in the Champions League this season. Right now, Madrid are clinging on in 8th place. PSG outside of it, so they need to get a result or they're outside it. Newcastle also outside of it. Ball over the top. Qarabag keeper comes out and claims it. So right now the top 8 is Arsenal, Bayern, Liverpool, Spurs, Barca, Chelsea, City, Madrid. Real Madrid, I mean. That's currently the top 8. Who's man of the match? Well, you guys vote for your man of the match in the match reaction that will be coming up straight after the game. Who's my man of the match? It's a good question. Oh, hang on. Virgil. Chiesa. Goal! Chiesa Champions League goal. Go on, Fede. Yes. Assisted by Virgil. 6-0, but Chiesa gets himself a goal. Whoop, whoop. The man that was... Look, he can't even fucking celebrate. He looks like some... Did you see the face on Slot? Slot looks like he's just been sent a dick pic. Salah to Virgil. Virgil to Chiesa, who I hope is onside. Chiesa takes a touch and then scores. Nice. That's what, 3 assists now for Virgil in this game, is it? I wonder, I hope he's onside. It looks close. Oh, goal stand, 6-0. Goal Fede. Can we get a Xabi Alonso emoji? Maybe. Sander, VVD, 3 assists. That's mental. First centre-back ever do it. I don't know, but it is a mad stat, yeah. 3 assists for Verge. Will the injury to Frimpong force FSG to do something in the market? Can't believe you muted yourself. I was told to. Do you know? I'm a man that does what he's told. I don't know. It's a tough one because in one way, it's not a position we would have thought we were light in the long term. So do you really make a signing? It depends how long Frimpong's out for. You know, other areas like centre-back, as an example, we're short and we need a signing in regardless. But right back, I don't know, it's a tough one. I think that you do have to question the injuries we pick up there and how frequent they are. But I think we need a centre-back anyway. So I'd like to see that brought in. Let's see this, how tight this was. Yeah, it was fairly tight, but he was onside just about, Fede. Craig, you make me laugh and cheer me up. I also feel your pain. I felt like crying after Ben Jacobs' news 3 days ago. The sarcasm is amazing. Thank you. Appreciate you. Someone said just get a loan. But that's the type of shit that leads us to Ben Davies, Ozan Kabak and all that stuff, lad. Slot's face when Fede scored. Don't like that. I know. It was shocking, wasn't it? Anyway, it is all over, ladies and gentlemen. It finishes Qarabag, or Liverpool 6, Qarabag 0, excuse me. 2 goals on the night for Maka, 1 for Salah, 1 for Ekitike, 1 for... Oh God, I'm trying to remember who scored. Salah. And who am I forgetting? So many goals. Let me read them all out to you. So many goals, I can't remember. 2 from Maka, Virt, Salah, Ekitike and Chiesa were your goal scorers. There you go. If we don't play any English teams in the Champions League, we look like prime Barcelona, said Aaron Garza. Lads, we were playing a very poor side, like, so, as I said, I'm taking nothing from this game, except I'm happy we've got our place in the top 8 sorted. Hey Craig, what will determine if England will get to top 5 Champions League spots, as always? The further the English teams, John, progress, and the coefficient scores, I'd say to you, mate, at this point, you could take it that there will be 5 Champions League places for the English sides. It's looking really, really likely there will be. So, for me, top 5 will get you in the Champions League next season. Araig said, Craig, good to see your cheeky humour prevail, mate, despite the challenges of the season. We get through the tough times more easily with you, with your frank talk and wit. Thank you, man. I just had to sometimes inject a little bit of humour in, because it's heavy going for us all at times, you know, and nothing wrong with a bit of laughter every now and again, even in the tough times, as you've said. It's before 7 a.m. in Japan, but Endo can go anytime. There you go. Okay, thank you. Okie dokie. I'm not really sure of the relevancy, but Endo, look, Endo's Endo. He's an Endo. He's a very good Endo. And he's a very easy man to like as well. Right, Nessie. Good win tonight, but articles tomorrow from the media will sound more like Arsenal fans. I'm not ready for it. I don't think there will be, because genuinely, for the 6-0 performance, and look, it's a good win, there's still things you can pick out there that were worrying, but less so in the second half, where they really didn't present us with anything to worry about. So apparently Qarabag just brought on the manager's son at one point there for a little run around as well. Yeah, this isn't going to change my opinion on the manager one bit. Like I said, it wasn't going to form it or change it. The weekend's going to be an interesting one. I'm watching the end of the Atletico Sporting game now. Oh, Sporting with an absolute missed opportunity right at the death to grab a winner. Oh, they get it in the end. Sporting come in with a very, very late one to make it 3-2. Sporting come back against Athletic Club Bilbao to make it 3-2. It's a manic finish. And I'm going to stay on the live stream just until we get all the results in, so we can tell you exactly who finishes where. There is still a couple of games still ongoing. Ajax Olympiacos, one of them. Barcelona, another one. Atletico Madrid, Bodo Glimt. How are Atletico losing at home to Bodo Glimt, lads? Athletic Club there again being dismantled. This time it's by Sporting Lisbon, who've come back in. And yeah, we're pretty much at the end here, the dying embers, but we'll let you know the top 8. Is there anything that could change the top 8? Inter 2-0 up against Dortmund as well. Barca 4-1 up against Copenhagen. Right, so top 8, ladies and gentlemen. Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Spurs, Barca, Chelsea, Sporting, Man City, Real Madrid are outside. Outside. Real Madrid will go into a playoff. PSG are into the playoffs. Newcastle are into the playoffs. These are all games that we don't have to play, thankfully. Who's out altogether, though, as things stand? Benfica out, Pafos out, Union Saint-Gilloise, PSV Eindhoven, Athletic Club, Napoli, Copenhagen, Ajax, Frankfurt, all going out. Ooh. Ouch. Some shocking results there tonight. Newcastle getting a very good draw over in Paris, but it puts them both into the playoffs, so it doesn't really help either of them. Wow. Oh, hang on. Real Madrid are in it on their league table. On their league table, oh, they've dropped it down now. Look, they've changed it. Yeah, Real Madrid have gone below Man City. City scrape in. I'm just going to stay with you till these games all finish up, so we can give you the final tables. Benfica, Madrid still in extra time there, or an additional time. So there's still a few games ongoing. The Atletico Sporting game is in the 7th minute or 5 minutes added on, so that should be just about over. Very, very important stuff at the end here. This table's nuts. So that game's now over. Sporting won. This is crazy. Atletico Madrid still trailing. Benfica still ahead against Real Madrid. We're now looking at the Real Madrid-Benfica game here, as there's 3 and a bit minutes of stoppage time to go in that one. Real Madrid need to get a point. That'll push them into 8th. If they don't get that point there, into the playoff round. I'm still not slot in. Can anyone name where Qarabag from without Googling? Azerbaijan. Look, I don't think this is going to change anyone's opinion either way on the manager, to be fair. Whether you're in or out before this, I don't really think it changes anything. I'm just intrigued here to see how these games go on. Because this is big implications. Madrid already down to 10 in this game as well. This is interesting stuff. Jose Mourinho getting one over on his former club here. By the way, folks, if you are still with us, thank you. Do hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to drop a like in the stream as well. We'll be going to our match reaction in a moment, but before, we're just waiting on the final results to come in so we can give you the complete table. If you haven't entered a giveaway yet, don't forget to do that as well. Win a signed Stephen Gerrard frame shirt, completely free. Scan the QR code below or use the link in the description for further details, and we will be giving away one signed item every month here on the channel with thanks to our friends at the Collector's Corner. If you'd like to get 20% off anything you buy at the Collector's Corner as well, don't forget to use the code Anfield Agenda 1 at checkout or scan the QR code in the bottom right corner of your screen, which will automatically add it for you. Right, we've got this game on in the background, the Madrid game, just to see, because it does have big implications on the final league positions for the likes of Manchester City. Some crazy, every other game bar this one is finished. This is the last game that's live. And Atletico are beaten at home by Bodo Glimt 2-1. That is shocking from them. This still won't keep Benfica up though. Benfica will need one more goal. Benfica need one more goal to qualify, to stay in it. And Madrid need one to get into the top 8. And we're in the last few seconds here. Tipsy Dipsy said, wish I felt anything after that win. It's weird. I'm the only thing I feel, mate, honestly, is a little bit more concern for Frimpong and the right back situation. Madrid free kick in, ball's headed away, edge of the box, ball back in again. Another ball in, headed away by Benfica. We've almost had the 5 minutes now. It's into whatever the ref adds on for stoppages. A result that still sees Benfica going out, by the way. So this is literally the result that helps nobody, unless Benfica can grab one more. Madrid try a ball over the top, and it goes through to the Benfica keeper. That is time wasting. Does he not know that they're not going through? I don't think it's gone through to some of those Benfica players that they need a goal. Mbappe stops the goalkeeper from taking his kick out of his hand, so that's a free kick. Now, Rodrigo's after getting another yellow, so he's off. That's 2 reds for Real Madrid. They're falling apart. This is interesting. As it sits, Real Madrid are 9th in the table, meaning they face that 2-legged playoff. Benfica, even though they're winning, aren't staying in the competition because they're 1 goal short. And it feels like the players don't know that, like it's not being communicated to them. Free kick to Benfica here. It's everybody up. Bellingham's looking for the final whistle, but it's a free kick. Jose Mourinho telling everybody to get up into the Real Madrid penalty area here because Benfica need a goal. 1 goal saves them and knocks out Marseille. No goal, they're not saved. They need a goal here, Benfica. Ball in. And they've scored! They've fucking done it! Benfica's keeper with a header! Benfica's keeper with a header that makes it Benfica 4, Real Madrid 2, which pushes Benfica up above Marseille and knocks Marseille out of the Champions League and absolutely pushes Real Madrid into the playoffs. It's scenes. It's absolute scenes. At the Stadium of Light in Benfica. Bellingham, as usual, is cry arson to the referee. The referee blows up. It's all over. It is all over. It finishes Benfica 4, Real Madrid 2. Madrid are 9th there in the playoff, and Benfica Well, they found their way into the 24th spot and are in the playoff round. Wow. Fucking hell. Keeper with the header pulling a full Alisson Becker on it. Boom. Keeper up. He got the go ahead from Jose. He goes up. Bang. Header. Goal. Wow. Mourinho peels off in celebration. Oh my days, ladies and gents. Marseille players are going to be heartbroken. That result knocks out Marseille by 1 goal. They were both on -3. Benfica pushed up now to -2. Marseille get knocked out. Wow. That is crazy. Right, ladies and gents, I'm going to end this stream and I'll see you for the match reaction. Wow. Scenes over.